Do 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 do. La da bum bum ba dum bum. Hello. My name is Chris Palmer, and in this video, I'd like to help you learn SEO, search engine optimization for 2021. So ideally, I'd love this to be an ask me anything type of video, regardless of the question, right? I'd be more than happy to go into some type of detail with you. I'll cover any question that you want. I'll answer anything within reason. You know what I mean, within reason. I think anything's within reason. As long as it's about SEO or, it could be about, I don't know, jumping rope, whatever you would like. Feel free to go ahead and ask. I will answer any question. Darren, great to have you. And yeah, that was an excellent show, wasn't it? I couldn't believe that it didn't get the distribution that I was hoping for. I was stunned that people didn't find it to be as. I looked at the watch time. I don't know if it was the pace of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bust that video down into sections because the information that he was divulging was absolutely phenomenal. I could have talked to him the whole night. He told me 45 minutes. I kept him way over time. It was actually over 2 minutes. I said 2 minutes, but I kept him for about 25 minutes over. 20 minutes. So, if you have any questions, hop in here. I'd be happy. Tomash, yeah. For the gentleman, I mean, it might have been, I don't know what the word is. For the SEO guys, right? If the nerdy, the real, like the SEO guys, I was trying to get those questions, a lot of the good questions out there. I was trying to get, our user signals replacing backlinks, questions like that. The search results aren't the index, right? I was trying to get the good questions. For somebody that's been in the industry for 25 years and has read tons of stuff, and I really wanted to ask him personally, you don't write about all, because you know how SEO is. Just because you read something and you learned something doesn't mean that you're going to run out and write about it. So I was trying to, get some stuff. And CBD, thank you. Yeah, I got lucky with him because the first time that I asked him, I missed the first date. The first time to be able to speak with him. And it took me a little bit of time to get back with him. There's very particular people that I want to be able to speak with, you know how it goes. So yeah, if you have any questions, excellent. If not, I'm not gonna, I need this for later because I have a consultation call. I want to help somebody with micro workers. I guess they're having trouble with it. I'm not sure. That's what they said. If not, what we're going to do is I ripped some content, or I shouldn't say that, right? What I did is I went and gathered up some content. I got some content here. I was going to work on this. This is within the industry that I need content for. So I went and grabbed it. It fits the criteria perfectly. For what I need as far as, co-occurring words and things of that nature. So I was really happy with that. The other thing that I was going to probably get into was some affiliate stuff. People were asking me, I just have some time here because my wife went out with little Chris. They went out, they were meeting with his cousins at spur of the moment. They called. So I was like, oh, I got a free moment here. Because it's the weekend. I'm sure you've noticed if you've watched me, I don't generally jump on the weekends. I try to. If I do, it's going to be in the morning. Because during the day, I try to hang out. But they left, so I was like, well, time to make a video. I don't really do much on the weekends. We can do a couple things. Here, I'll leave it up to you. Here's what we can do. We can either manually spin content, which doesn't sound fun at all. We can do some keyword research unless you have questions, I'm here to answer questions, really. We could do keyword research because I want to set up a silo. What I'm thinking, I did some prior keyword research as far as for my public affiliate site. I did some minor tweaks. Some of the other pages here, we can go in and take a look together. Some of the pages, wait, let me make sure that this is the right account. Yeah, okay. So some of the pages that were previously, well, here, I'll show you. Some of the pages that were previously, what's the word I'm looking for? Previously weren't bringing anything. If we take a look over here, because I went in and I made very, very small changes, because really ideally I wanted to add schema and just clean up a few things, add a few different keywords in. Here, let's go in for the last 28 days. One of the keywords that I started to bring in and I started to get some traffic for, oh wait, here, let's go here. Impressions. Yeah, see, here we go. See, the small changes that I made, I started getting impressions. They pushed me up from where I was. All I did was make very, very slight changes, because what I noticed is he was basically using heading tags for non-relevant keywords. So what I did is I went in, I ran it through Surfer really quick to see how many variations and how many times the words had to be on the page. Then I went to those pages and I started the extra times that needed to be on the page, because the dude knew a little bit, but not that much. He was just writing, oh, he looked at the SERP, here's the number one guy, I need this many words, and then he wrote the stuff out. He was doing the stuff himself. So I just put keywords really in the heading tags, add schema, cleaned out a bunch of the junk, added WP Rocket, went in, tweaked WP Rocket. And if you downloaded that WP Rocket from me, if you go in and you look at the source, you'll notice how clean that is. And that's not on purpose. I went in there and cleaned that plugin up. I cleaned the plugin up so it would take up less room. It runs faster internally. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but I made it infinite, right? So I don't know if you noticed that. If you got that plugin from me, it's not one where it has to be updated. Like, I figured that one out really well. Oh, that's right. I don't give that away anymore. I don't do that anymore. But anyway, let's get here to some questions here. Again, consider this a complimentary, is that the word I'm looking for? A complimentary consultation session. If I can help you with anything, let me know. I'll cover anything. If not, I'm going to start manually spitting some text. I'm either going to do keyword research. What else do I have to do? This is like play stuff that I was thinking about, like stuff that doesn't really matter. We started doing dinner parties. Which one am I allowed to show? We started doing dinner parties, virtual dinner parties. So who would have thought? Oh wow, it looks like we dropped. That's not good. All right, well, I guess I can't show that off. Wow, we were up there for a while. It already passed, so I didn't mind showing it. I just wanted to show some other work that I was working on, aside from stuff that I show public. So it's really strange, though. Once I was running traffic to it. We stopped probably 5 days ago. So there's a quick answer for you. We had a brand new campaign we were running. These guys have budget, right? This isn't like my stuff. This is this is a travel club that has a lot of budget. So we were running traffic. We were running ads to internal pages. But we turned everything off as far as traffic and any type of things to get that initial boost. And it's only been 5 days and we're already nowhere to be seen in the first 50 results. So there's your answer on that. It really tanks you. But you need to talk with Marty Marion. I'm not sure who Marty is, but send him over. I'd love to talk to him. Just checking my page source code. Can you have too much junk text on it? Well, all right. So if we're talking about, you know, your HTML page, we're talking about a web page, something that you control, right? You're taking a look at the source code. If you take a look at almost any of these themes, right? Not Oxygen and a lot of other themes though that run clean, depending on your template or whatever. Unless it's really significantly slowing down your site or hindering the end user, you know, bloated code isn't really necessarily, unless it's really dramatically slowing down your site, bloated code is not going to hurt your rankings. So I often wondered that. I ran tests on that myself just to see, like I've inflated sites before just to see, and really, I never saw any issues. All right, so I wouldn't be too concerned with bloated code. Don't worry about it unless it's hindering or hurting an end user and or dramatically slowing down your site compared to ranking competitors. Because if you take a look, even top guys in the SEO industry, you know, the top 2 guys, go take a look at how slow their sites run. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, speed isn't, you know, I really wouldn't worry about it. All right. So anyway, moving down the list, hopefully that helps you. Best Price Bride says, for a long-term money site, should I be strictly white hat? Is some building with maybe a buffer a good idea? I don't want to get penalized, but I also want to have some good movement. Well, this is a funny little statement. So if you take a look, I'll say this, right? So I'm doing this little test site I haven't worked on yet. I'm probably going to have some of the content done for one of the pages, and then I'll build out some junk pages. But we're doing some play fun. We're having some fun here, right? For this particular site, definitely not top priority. You know, the 7 guys that I have left that I have to work with, plus my primary client, always come first, plus my family, before I do anything. Plus, I spent 0 budget on this. So with that said, though, I want to show you this. You're worrying about penalties and things of that nature. You know, if you take a look here, let's look at some of the links that Google knows about. And we'll come in here, manual action, right? And this is a manual action. Now, there's a complete difference between an algorithmic action and a manual penalty. A manual penalty, you know, it's going to show up, okay? But I want you to take a look at this. Somebody decided, they thought it would be hysterical, perhaps. I'm not really sure, but let's take a look. See, here's some of the linking sites. This right here is my, you know, I didn't spend any money on this, right? My initial plan was to rank a blank page. But after talking with a couple people, they're like, no, because that people will be thinking that you did something shisty. But take a look in here. This right here is like one of those like drugs or whatever. Let me take a look here. Bet City. Here we go. Look at betcity.info. It's a casino site. Canra Tolic. That's like this medicine. Dude, somebody blasted. Look at, here's another one. These are like pharmaceutical sites. Somebody whacked me with all kinds of these. Amphitheater, no, that one's fine. That one's fine. Man, I had a bunch more in here. You should see them all. There's more. There's more. Here, let's go up here. What I'm trying to showcase here, there's a lot of them in here. Like, I didn't build these. There's a lot of these. I just want to show you these, man, because look at these. But what I'm getting at is somebody blasted this particular site with these links, okay? And for whatever reason, you know, I would say that, okay, maybe you did me a favor. I'm not sure, but look at this. Literally, Cialis-org-20mg. Like, If that's not spammy, I don't know what is. And there's a ton of them. Look at, there's 205 sites that Google is showcasing. And what I'm getting at to answer your question, right? And if you go to all these sites, they're all horrific, horrible sites, right? And all I'm getting at is, I wouldn't be as scared to build links. I would be very, very cautious of where you're getting your links from, okay? But aside from that, if you do want to be more cautious, then something that I really like to do is, say you go and buy a press release, right? You spend the $100 or whatever, right? $200, $100. If you want one for $100, let me know. But you have to write the content if you want it from me. I don't write content. I could get it distributed. So say you do a press release, it gets launched out to 175 sites. Out of those 175 sites, you might get 10 or 15, because again, these are new sites that are going to be do follow. Well, those sites would make great buffer sites, right? Also, if you don't want to do it that way, I like to do it that way, but it's up to you. Also, you can also go out to your favorite place. Go to Upwork, and you're looking for manually built Web 2.0 properties. Your WordPress, your Kinjas, your Tumblrs, your live journals, these types of sites. They're high authority sites that could take a lot of aggressive link building. Utilize those as buffers and make those branded entities. So what I'm getting at is, don't be afraid to link build. And if you are, then I would utilize a buffer. But I prefer what I like to call an authority buffer. So that would be, buy a link, blast it. That's what I would do. So that's my recommendation. Hopefully that helps you out, but do not be scared. I'm not saying go crazy and point everything at your site, but, take it easy. Like, take it from me. Like, look at this. Look what somebody did to this site. Captain Lean Off, I'm sure you can come to a conclusion on what that is. Jungle Finder, I'm sure you can come to a realization of what that is, I'm sure. Just all these, like, come on. Here's another Cialis Sales Online. Look at this one. POR, I don't even want to say it. Like, look at the words right here. Like, you see what I'm getting at? These are horrible. Horrible. And I really, I've been noticing, look at the dancing that this is doing. It's hard to play ball, because when you're introducing ranking signals, links at a site, not only is it going to fluctuate, and then when you're pointing these types of links into a site, I'm not saying it's going to hurt me, but it's going to take some time to level out. It just is. So, that's going to be it. Now, what I wanted to check here was this, impressions. All right. So that's interesting. Average positions going up. Let's take a look at this. 53, 57. I think that stayed the same. I think, I don't know. Not bad for nothing. I didn't even do anything. So let's go through here. That was fun, but all that to let you know, I wouldn't worry too much. All right. What is the best way? Oh, wait, let's go through. Hey, Chris, are you finding Omega is still the best indexer? Well, I never said it was the best. I just want to make that 1,000%, open and transparent, right? I wouldn't say that any are the best. I would say maybe perhaps I've used this and I really like this one. But I wouldn't use that terminology just because, you know what I mean? I'm a public guy. And I'm not promoting them. Like, it's not my service, Do I think that Omega's a great service? Sure, absolutely. I really enjoy it. I have an account. I like Speedlinks too. But these are two different types of services that work completely differently. Like, Speedlinks will build links in order to get indexation. Some sites build links. Some sites use a call. Some sites have other forms, like Omega has their own little system, because I really tracked to see exactly what they're doing. They have something. I initially thought that they were using multiple sitemaps or something along these lines. But after further investigation, because somebody told me that. So after I did some further investigation, I don't really think that that's the case, but I do like their tool. All right, so moving down the list here, just checking my page source. Okay. Hello to you, Mr. Lee Wild. What is the best way to rank multiple pages at once? Well, if you're dedicating a page to a specific topic cluster, we'll say, and then you have another page that is related to yet another top level keyword or a topic cluster, then you should have no problem with them competing with one another. So how to rank them is by optimizing one keyword, one page. One keyword, one page. You optimize for a medium tail keyword, so you can start pulling in a lot of the other smaller or longer tail keywords. You might not get that number one rank for that hard keyword, but that page is going to rank for hundreds and hundreds of keywords, depending on the niche. So it's just by segmenting and doing careful keyword research. Careful keyword research includes, okay, I want to optimize for this keyword. The easiest way to do it is scroll on down and start looking at the results. Now, when you're pulling up these results and you take a look at people are also searching for, you're probably going to start bringing in some more variations of what's down bottom as well, generally, like different types of. So when you look up those keywords, are you getting the same type of results? Because you don't want to have pages competing with one another. So what I'm getting at is this. Make sure that your keywords are far enough apart to where you're not competing with yourself. And make sure that you're dedicating one page, one keyword. One page, one keyword. And optimize around that. So I hope that helps you. Lee Wild, can you check how to SEO improve and speed up? How to optimize and speed up. All right. Well, we can go take a look at that. Give me a moment. All seems well, but I'm concerned about the backlinks and the SEO goodies being passed to my new domain. Any idea how long will it take and what's the effect time-wise will it have on ranking? So all seems well, but I'm not sure exactly what seems well. You didn't say anything other than all seems well. You're concerned about the backlinks and the SEO goodies being passed to the new domain. So you created a new domain and then you went on a link building spree, or, whatever the case may be, some type of off-page spree, and you're curious how long it's going to take to rank. It depends on the niche, and ranking is page one, right? I think that depending on the competition, that's going to come in sessions. You're going to write your initial content, you're going to launch, right? You're going to do your best optimization. Then you're going to come back, see where you're at, right? Then you'll link build. It's almost a process. It should be. But to give a definitive answer is very, very difficult. It depends on the overall authority of the page that is being launched. It depends on the competition. It depends on the keyword. It depends on the links. It really depends, So I hate to give you that answer, but without more information, it's hard to give you a definitive answer. So Jeff says, hey Chris, do you think it would be relevant to make a video explaining the link juice concept in theory and the difference between juice and authority? Well, I think it could be helpful, but authority and link juice are definitely two different things, Jeff. An authority website is an authority within the niche, right? That's authoritative. they're ranking for thousands of keywords and variations, even if they haven't built pages on this. Link juice can be passed from any site to another site, even if you look in one of your tools and it says, 01, or 11, it's still going to pass something. So yeah, link juice and power of links and looking at authority are two different things. However, an authority link is definitely better than just a link from any Joe Schmo, right? So that is an interesting viewpoint. That's a good video. I think that's, that would make a good SEO for beginners, backlink building video, and then discuss it. Good idea. Paul says, hey, Chris, love your work. Thank you. Can you recommend a couple of SEO resellers to use? My client list is growing. Time is limited. Paul, I'm not sure what kind of services you're looking for. It depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, hey, why don't you send me an email? It depends. Tell me exactly what you're looking for, and maybe I could help you out. Maybe, message me privately, and I'll see what I could help you with. Tell me specifically what you're looking for. Are you looking for links? You're looking for citations, press releases, content? Like, what are you looking for? Content, I can't help you with that. But if you're looking for links, citations, press releases, stuff like that, could probably help you out. Thanks, Chris. You're the best. Glad I can help. Navi says, what do you think? Do your event site get hit with so many bad links? What do you do in the event your site gets hit with so many bad links? Nothing. Just move forward. I wouldn't do anything. Unless I get a manual penalty. What would you do? What could you do? If somebody's going to send me links, regardless of the type, I'm going to say thanks and move forward. The only way that I'm ever going to disavow or do anything at all is going to be if I get a manual penalty. So hopefully that helps you out. Dave says, Chris, will you please go over how to correctly 301 redirect from purchased expired domain to pass the juice to site, and how many 301s can you have going to one site? Well, that last part has been often debated. Now, I have 301 redirected 20 different sites to another domain for fun in the past, just to see what would happen, right? And I can say that we didn't get in any trouble, and I think that there is a diminishing return, but I would make sure that the sites are relevant, because I did notice we didn't get what we thought we were going to get when we 301'd all these sites into one. I could tell you that much. Now, with that being said, how to properly 301 redirect, there's a couple ways that you could go about it, and it's a very simple Google search. The two things that you're looking for are this right here, all right? And there's plenty of walkthroughs. How to do a 301 redirect using HTA access, okay? That's one way. That's one search. There's hundreds of articles on this, okay? The next one is depending on where you bought it from. So GoDaddy, did you buy it from Snap Names? Wherever you bought it from, you can also do it at the, or wherever it's registered, I should say. You could do it at the registrar level. And then whatever site you're on, if they have, like, say you used HostGator, right? HostGator 301 redirect. Let's just say HostGator. How to create a URL redirect. 301 redirect, the most common type of redirect. So these are the two ways that you're looking for. If you want to retain the site and don't want to do it from a registrar level, right? You could do it through the HTA access. If you just want to buy it and then 301 it, which, I would highly recommend against, I would take possession of a new domain and launch it with a page from the past. Meaning, when you buy an expired domain, all right, You should get it, pull it into your, whatever hosting, all right? And get a basic template, even if it's just a static HTML page, but make sure the title and the H1 with a little bit of content is there from a past site. Now, if you launch that page and it pops into the SERPs without any trouble, then you probably have a viable domain. Now, if you launch a page that was previously there and you don't see it anywhere, it doesn't pop in at all within, when you first launch a page and you get that sucker up and running, brand new, fresh, it should pop right in. If you don't see anything, I would get rid of that domain as fast as you bought it. All right, so that's my recommendation for you, buddy. Hopefully it helps you. All right, going up the list here. Chris, all right, so we covered that. Can we build better links to Chris Palmer, lose the bad ones? Can we build better links to Chris Palmer, lose the bad ones? Yeah, I'm going to let all the junk ride, because I was looking through here at these links, and I'm not sure why, for what reason anybody would do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure the reason why people would be building, like Cialis, 457 links, for what? And this is how you know it's junk, because even within the Moz bar, like, it has literally not even moved. It's sitting at a DA8. So whoever did this, you I don't know what they were trying to do to me. But I'm not too worried about it. But, the reason why I bought Chris Palmer SEO was because after the little competition, I was going to utilize this site. But now, with this junk sitting in here, it's just like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Maybe I'll disavow everything afterwards. Like, look at Cialis generic 5 millis. Palm Road, I can only imagine what that is. Deal for bank, look at this. Look at, they got fine, probably payday loans or something. Let's go take a look at this one. Just for fun. Like, let's just go see some of this stuff. Privacy here, oh, great. Like, it's just ridiculous. I did some cool stuff on that site, though. I took care of my schema first. All right. But yeah, CBD. I had a word with somebody that is pretty close to me, and they said, hey, I know you're doing that. Maybe I'll shoot you some links. So, my buddy, a partner of mine where we usually get some, and I told him what we're doing. I told him what I was doing. He said, hey, I'll see what I can do for you. Maybe I could get you a couple, like 3 or 4 good links. All right. So, hey, Chris, I have an issue to structure my multi-location site correctly. Should I do service pages and link them from specific city pages, or do service plus city? I think that's a matter of choice. I would probably, I personally, let me just take a look and see what I have up here. I would probably do it this way. Let's do format, font. Let me make it big so you guys can see it, and gals, if there's any gals here. So I would probably do it, HTTPS, yourwebsite.com / and then city / service 1, and then all within that silo, you're probably going to have a top level category page, which is going to be whatever your service is. So plumber, right? Or the main city you're trying to target. So then it would be plumber, or whatever your main keyword is, with the city and then the service. And then you would have all your services listed. This would say if you're doing a category page. But if you're just focused on one main metropolitan city, and then you would list all of your services. A lot of times what I'll see is if you take a look at, say, Thrive Agency, they did the way that I like to do things, actually. So if you take a look over here, and the only reason I even know about these guys is because I was looking at them because they're the top ranker for Las Vegas, right? So I was like, okay, who's the main competition? But if you take a look in here, see how they have this? So they did, but see how they're listing it? Now, I would keep the URL structure how people are searching, so city plus keyword, so city plus service. But see how they did this? Their header navigational bar, right? They list all their services, and then in their footer, they're doing all of their cities, and then each of their city pages. Now, I like the way this is set up, but I would keep the structure how people are searching. People are searching town plus keyword, or city plus keyword. So that's how I would keep my structure. So I would do the main city, service 1. And then within that silo, main city, service 2, service 3, service 4. That's how I would do it. But you could do it in reverse. You could do my services and then do all of the cities. But it really depends on how people are searching. And what I mean by this is, or is it for your main target location, are you getting the same results? And what I mean by this is this. So if I do SEO New York, right? We're going to get a result. SEO New York. We have SEO services, Mivi, online gurus. We would take a look at the SERP. But if I do New York, right? New York SEO. The question is, am I getting different results? And the answer is yes. So it depends on how your competition or how your end users are searching. That's how you want to base your structure. So looking at your highest volume keywords, and think about it, that's how your URL should read. URL, title, H1. This is how the customer is searching. All right. Your key places are going to have your key keywords in it. All right. I hope that helps you out. All right. Moving down the list. How to detect a competitor's PBN. But why? You know what I mean? Are you trying to determine if it's a PBN? Because, most PBNs tend to look like this. All right? This is generally what you're going to find at a PBN. A whole bunch of different topics going on, right? This is a PBN, okay? This is pretty much what you'll find at a low-tier PBN, So I'm not sure why you want to find them, but where to buy hacked links, I've heard people use them in gambling. And if you're looking to do it yourself, you can, but you can always go to sape.ru, sign on in, sign in. So you can come on to here, and there's 2 different versions. But I would use the it wants me to log in, but you could take a look in here. I would come here if you're looking for those types of links, and they have a lot of different links that you can get. All right, so come on over here to Sape if you're looking for that type of stuff, and I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. All right, moving down the list. Oh, also, when you search for the term niche edit, that's how it always used to be. Like, niche edits have become quite mainstream. People talk about them a lot. I'm even seeing white hat, quote unquote, guys talking about niche edits. Now, it used to be when I wanted to get shady links that were powerful, I was looking for niche edits. Who's got the links, right? And generally these are the links where you're like, wow, how do they get these links, man? And then you go to the page where your link is and you can't see it anywhere. You take a look at the source and bada bing, bada boom, it's there, right? So, just be careful with that kind of stuff. I see Thank you for your answer, Chris. Always a pleasure. How to make a negative bad SEO URL to take down rankings of a website. I don't teach that kind of stuff, you know. I don't do that, you know. But I think that you're looking at it completely wrong. You're not taking down a website, you're taking down a server. You know, but that's not stuff that I teach. I'm here, Chris Abdul. Great to have you on, my friend. Navi says, I swear this is someone's failed attempt at negative SEO. I would disavow, but I don't know. I've been out of the game for a while. Yeah, it is. It almost is, you know. But what I noticed a lot of times, and I've seen a lot of guys that kind of know what they're doing when it comes to negative, what they'll do is they will land a lot of links, wait for indexation, and then change the content on the page that the link is in, and they'll also change like titles and things of that nature, and then they'll also change the anchor text going back to the sites, right? I've seen this numerous times. This can be effective, you know, because it can be effective because as the stuff is registering in, say, Search Console in these tools, it's, you know, it's already been seen. It's not going to generally update that information. However, Google re-sees it, and then it's forwarding those types of details to your site is the idea. And I've seen this work. So that's why I was really watching to see and following these links to see, okay, here's where they are. Here's where they're coming from. Have they changed anything? Because these ones have now been indexed. I've been open about it, showing it to see if they would go in and make the change, you know, because obviously it's somebody that sees me, you know. Could be one of you. But hey, it's, you know, I'm not worried about links, you know, per se, as a negative factor. I check my server logs all the time. Nobody's doing anything effective, I can tell you that. So moving down the list, Jeff Master 1, do you think that a brand new domain bought less than 1 month can still pass link juice if the domain receives links? So you bought a domain, you hit it with a bunch of links, it has a bunch of links on it, can it still pass juice? Yes, it can. Has the site been cached? Has it been seen? Is the site showing in any third-party tool any type of link increase? Have you noticed the links come into play? So can it pass power? Yes. Now, if you're asking me if I buy a brand new domain, I just launch it and then link to another site, if you have a site that's 0 and you pass it, it's passing 0. All right. So I hope that helps you out. Abdul says, I have a client. He wants to use the same phone number for 2 different GMBs. Can I do that? I wouldn't do that. But you can. You can. I've seen this happen before, but I mean, if he's going out and creating GMBs, generally you'll have a different number and then forward it. But you can. Sometimes it's a lot harder to get them verified when you're doing that. Unless you're doing a mail-in or something, or a video chat or something along those lines. I've found that just doing pins is just as effective, you know, because at the end of the day, for me, it's can I receive calls? Can I get calls? And is Google giving me credit for being in this location? Have they assigned me an entity ID? If they've assigned me an entity ID, they know that Chris Palmer, or whatever your business, is in this location. You get what I mean? So, you know, at a pure SEO standpoint, then that would be what I'm after. Now, as far as getting more dominance, if that's what you're doing and you're landing in multiple locations, then I would probably try to get different numbers and have them forwarded in, you know. I would be careful, though, with a lot of the, you know, I've been playing around with a few trunking services. You know, just be careful. You know, just be careful. All right, moving down the list here. I'm a girl. Uh, okay. I'm sorry, miss. And, well, I think I said my friend, but okay. I'm sorry. I've changed the domain name, and I was wondering, but yeah, Anna, I don't, that type of stuff, I mean, if you're ultra interested in it, send me an email, and maybe I could, point you in the right direction. Send me an email, and maybe we could talk about something. All right. But Abdul asks, when are you going to upload a video about cold calling or cold sales or how to get a client? I'm waiting. Oh, you're really interested in that? Well, all that would consist of is creating a pitch, right? An opening, the information, and then the close, right? So it's really just about a pitch. Now, what I was thinking about doing to make it more fun was going to a particular SERP and then just to see, because with cold calling, I've done it immensely, a lot, tons. It's all about being able to accept no, and knowing that each no is getting you closer to the yes, right? Because you're going to call 100 people. You might call 200 people to get one person to say yes. It really depends on your services. It depends on your pitch, and you'll really start to learn how to tweak your pitch. But yeah, and then you can start hearing it within people's voices. They're breathing. You'll just know if it's a close or not. And then two, sometimes you have to schedule multiple calls. I personally don't like to chase people. Rescheduling and calling back and all this junk. I'm looking to get the decision maker on the phone immediately. But as far as a pitch, that's not hard. I think that's definitely something I want to do. But thank you for reminding me. I didn't know that there was people actually wanting it. I know there was like 2 people that said yes, but I've changed the domain, and I was wondering how long it will take for Google to treat my new domain as the old domain. Did the 301 reported the Google Search Console? At this present time with current updates, I'd give it a little bit extra time. So let's just say, for sake of argument, and you'll probably have it before this, but give it 60 days. Give it 60 days, and you'll start to notice credit. Now, when you go to your old site, do you end up on your new site? You get what I'm saying? Like when you go to type in your URL, as soon as you type it in and hit enter, are you on your brand new site? Because if you're not, then there's definitely a problem. All right. So I hope that helps you out. But within 60 days, you should definitely start to notice within the tools and everything, like it's starting to get counted. Chris, can you elaborate on a sound interlinking strategy? Sure. That's a short but big question. Here, let's bang these out quick, and we'll see. I think there was somebody else that was asking me something that I wanted to talk about. Let me see if I think I copied the question. Paste. Oh, look at the domain. We could do that. What do you do? Okay, so what was your question? Internally linking. I think that's more of a longer video. But to make it a little bit easier, let's just say this. Now, obviously, here, let's bring this up. Let's discuss this a little bit. We'll talk about some internal linking. Can you build? Okay, let's go down the list here. I see. Hey, Chris. Hey, Ken. Hey, Bubbles. How are you? Great to have you on. How to make a negative bad URL takedown website. We talked about that. Hi, Chris. Negative. Okay. We talked about that. Do you think it's brand new? Okay. All right. Going down the list here. What is an advanced way to hide my PBN network from competitors besides adding bots list into .hta access? Well, are you generally this, because what you'll find, one of the ways is by using secondary terms as anchor text. Because generally, if I'm trying to hunt down a PBN, one of the first things that I'm looking for is exact match anchor text, because they're going to utilize their most powerful links in order to send in. So if you can use a variation, or if you can use other words that aren't exact but can still pass you power or send them internally, then that can be effective. But hiding the site from each and every bot that there is and all the SEO tools is definitely something. But what baffles me about this is why, right? Are you in fear that, are you in the type of niche where people are, outing each other? Even if somebody were to raise a suspicion, as long as your domain is looking properly, right? It looks like a real site. I can only imagine how many requests Google gets, their team or whatever they say. Other than blocking the Ahrefs and these types of tools, I'm not sure why you would want to hide it unless it looks poor quality and it's blatantly obvious. Because a lot of the sites that I've seen before that were running a quality blog, it looked like a real website. Like, you can't really tell, like, who's to say, So I've always been troubled with that, even submitting to Search Console and things along these lines. I've seen guys that ran successful, very large networks. All of them are on Search Console. I mean, they all have different themes. They're all on different IPs, the whole list. But they were never concerned about any of that type of stuff. Because it looked like a legitimate site. A link's a link. So I hope that helps you. I tried CTR service during 5 weeks, but I didn't see any result for the moment. My goal is to increase my rankings with that tool using different residential IP. How long does it take for you? How the length of time it takes in order to see power is dependent upon the SERP that we're going into, right? Also, if you're just sending select clicks, if you're utilizing the system that I taught in order to send traffic for a massive bump, and you're off in... Basically, if you're trying to use CTR to go from position 80 to position first page, it's going to be very, very difficult. Now, if you're utilizing the system that I taught and you're at the bottom of page 1 and you start sending in authoritative traffic, click-through traffic, then you're going to start noticing an increase. Within 10 days, within 5 days. Sometimes the next day you might have a fluctuation of a jump. But what I would focus on, if you're out in rankings, let's use that same example. If you're number 83, if you want to see a better little boost, then start sending maybe lower level searches for keywords that are related to your brand. I did a video the other day, even like bot traffic, where you're just searching for your brand and start associating it with the keyword. This is helpful. You'll start to see your impression count go up on, say, Search Console and within tools. But that's where I would start. Start associating, get a list of your 20 related key terms to your primary keyword, and also the same exact keywords that your competitor is ranking for. If you're trying to come up in maps, go get the maps URL and start doing searches and associating directional searches. Effective, very effective. I hope that helps you. Yes, please publish something about pitching. Yeah, see, that's 2 people. Hey, if anybody else, it's easy. And one of the pitches, like I told you, I still work with the same. When I moved here from Florida, this has been the same group of people that my dad used to do websites and SEO for initially. So, I mean, this has been a long-term relationship. So when it comes to pitches, and cold calling, you know, I can definitely help you. I wonder if that's training worthy. You know, I wonder if that could help a lot of people. Maybe I should do it live and show people. That would be helpful. I think that would be helpful to a lot of people, where I think a lot of people will come into problem. And I mean this in the most respectful way ever. But if you're out of the country and calling US businesses, trust me, when I used to work for the travel club in-house and I would have to train, we used to get, and the turnover rate was crazy. We'd get new people in. I'd have to teach them the material and teach them all the answers, right? You want to have the answers to each and every question, right? You know, the guys that were, you know, English wasn't their first language. If they're calling into English, it was very difficult to get sales. Very, very difficult for them to get a close, to show up for a presentation, even for a free steak dinner, you know? So I think I would love to help you guys. I would love to. But you can get around that by getting right to the punchline, you know, or to the close. But yeah, we could do this. I will chase you for that. Even you might see me in front your house. I did cold call email, but don't get any positive answers. In front of my house. Hey, I share my address. That's really where I live. If anybody wants to send me something or come see me, you know, within reason, I'm here all day long every day. I would be happy, other than my dog Hayes. You know, we're the only people here, and my partner comes through, Eric, but he's all business. You know, he doesn't want to really chat with me about anything that's not business. But yeah, yes, redirects work perfectly well. Thank you, Chris. Yes, they do. Chris, please. Oh, you mean you went and you checked? Yes. So that's perfect. And so within 60 days, you'll start to notice. This is one way to start noticing. Take a look at the past anchors that your old site used to get. Take a look at the anchor text coming into that old site that you 301 redirected. Take note of that anchor text. Start searching, right, for those anchor texts that were coming in, because I'm sure some of them are different. And start taking a look. If you start seeing the new site showing up, then you know that things are starting to move along. Not all of them will, but you'll start noticing some of them popping in. All right, so that's one way to really know, hey, is this working? So there you go. Take a video about, make a video about YouTube journey and earnings. Are you talking about earnings from YouTube? I mean, it's like $10 a day, you know? And that's only if I make a video every single day. You know, some months are really, really low. As far as earnings are concerned, it's like I've seen some of those YouTube earnings videos and they're very, very impressive. And I was very, very jealous. Even my good friend Ruan made one and I was like, you're making what? You know, that was never the goal. The goal was always, you know, increase my business, you know, help more people to showcase my talents so I could help more people, which is meaning get more business, right? That's the objective. I help people with their businesses so I can help myself. That's what I do. I mean, what else? You know, that's what everybody does. I have this service. I know how to do this. I can help you. You might be a roofer. I don't know how to put on a roof. You get what I mean? So I have to call somebody. They help me. I help them. That's how it works. So that was the goal. And then too, like when I got away from a lot of like the Fiverr stuff and the Upworks and, you know, basically when Eric took over and I told everybody, hey, I want to start doing this. You know, I want to be more public. I want to teach people what we're doing. I think I could provide value, you know, differently than everybody else on YouTube is. And how what I'm seeing here is completely different than the way I do things. So that's why I decided, Now, we lost a lot of our friends that I was working with because they knew I was going to be public. So, but as far as the journey, that's really it. I mean, I don't know how to I'm not sure how I'd go about that. But it's definitely not as impressive as some of the stuff that I've seen. I will tell you that much. But I'm glad that you're interested. Chris Palmer, if you offer SEO monthly service, what are the website changes? Chris Palmer, if you offer SEO monthly service, what are the website changes? I did that in the beginning. I'm leaning more towards, that's not what I want to get away from that. See, when I launched my Facebook group, I told the group, hey, I'm going to have services. See, I thought I was going to be able to stop working with the clients that I already had at a faster rate, because my objective was to do consultation and one-off services. For me, personally, I don't like the monthly deal. That's not for me at all. I want to be able to provide you a service. You want 100 links. I would be happy to supply you with 100 links. You give me this, I give you this. That's it. That's the end of transaction. But as far as monthly or press release or citations, you need a citation service? Here's what you get. Here's how much it costs. This is what to expect, and here's the price. There's nothing to talk about, right? That's more of the angle I want to go. But it's taken me a lot longer. When this COVID stuff hit, I had to work with these. I've been working with these guys for a long time. So it's the angle. So as far as the monthly, if you're asking me about results, I would never get into a monthly deal. That's not what I want to do at all. It's just not for me, I don't like it. I don't want to manage a team. I don't want to, I just want to have, 1 or 2 VAs, and that's really about it. So, but yeah, I hope that answers your question, Sway Design. Jay says, hey, Chris, can you please share your Scrapebox footprints? Your old link you shared on YouTube a year ago no longer works. Yeah, but that's not on this computer. I switched everything over to my server. I still am doing videos from here, but I have a whole new setup. I have a server computer that I run my servers off of, because I do some other stuff on the side. I do some other types of work on the side, right? Aside from auction business, penetration stuff, right? Which is really what I wanted to do in the beginning. But I moved everything over onto that computer. So I don't have Scrapebox here. That's not, or I would have gladly gave it to you. But I'm always looking to create new videos and give people more information. So I'm not going to say it's going to be tomorrow or anything like that, but it's definitely going to come up again. Walkthroughs for GSA, walkthroughs for Scrapebox, footprints and lists. If you want a template for search engine ranker, I shared one in my Facebook group, actually. So you can get it from there. How important is it to have the keyword in your domain URL? Well, I don't think that it's a deciding factor for ranking. I think that a variation or a partial match domain can be helpful. I think that you should look at the current situation within the SERPs, because sometimes Google might not even reward that site. If you're taking a look at the competition and you're seeing exact match domain, not just one. Like if we're going down the list, you're looking at 20 sites and you see like 5 or 6 of them babies in there, then maybe I might want to not have an exact, but a partial, or at least containing a piece of the primary keyword that my business is about, right? So, like Chris Palmer marketing, that's a partial, right? It contains a piece of the keyword: internet marketing services, internet marketing, right? Digital marketing. marketing agency. You get what I mean? So a piece of it is probably more beneficial. Plus, it'll save you a lot of headache when you're doing link building because you can get over optimized very quickly. All right. I noticed this. I was having a call with a client, and I'm looking at their leading competition, and I'm looking at their anchor text profiles, and it is just. And then they're asking me, why is this guy here? I'm looking at their profile, and I'm like, well, and they just got there, and they can't knock them off. And we're looking, and I'm analyzing, and you could just see, like, they might be in position now, but they're only one update away, you know. So I would probably steer clear of an exact. I'd go for a partial. To be honest with you, I might even go for more branded. And then as far as, you know, injecting relevance to the keywords, do that through anchor text. So hopefully that helps you out. I talked about this, USA traffic, get that USA traffic. And that's another thing. You know, for local people, the device location, I like to have hyper localized, right? The IP location is another story. Hence, you know, mobile IPs are all over the place, right? Even residentials are all over the place. But when you're running it through whatever system, you want to have the device location, the PC, right? Or the phone in that generalized location. However, websites are a whole nother, you know, regular websites. I've seen positive results with international traffic, international click-through. I've seen better results for hyper-local markets to have localized searches. So it doesn't always have to be USA if you're in the US. You can have some international traffic. Hopefully that helps you. I found a crazy tip to get high relevant content. It's called OCR Pen Scanner. Interesting. Let's go take a look. We're going to take a look. This guy found a good tip. We're going to see if he's trying to spam the chat. Let me see who it is. I don't think he is. I've seen his name before. Scan Maker Air Black. Oh, I see. So I see. So you're scanning I guess publications that are physical. But yeah, that's a good idea. Does creating my maps 10 to 15 location points to the GMB still help rankings? I've tried it and not seen a bump of. Again, I personally feel that having a my map within your drive, because I've always said when people asked, you have your one Gmail account with your one GMB. Your one GMB is attached to your drive, which contains your My Maps along with all your other files. The other files can be your docs and your slides and, right? Within those documents and in the My Maps, having one map containing my primary keywords and secondary keywords and services, plus the general radius of 5 miles being my target demographic or area, right, within the My Map. Do I think that it's going to apply a direct ranking signal to Google? No, but I think for overall understanding of you, your brand, what you offer, and where you're at and where you service, I think it helps because Google is definitely, you know, even within your maps, you can take a look. I made a video on this. They are pulling in that data. So when they're pulling in your drive and your folders and they're pulling in all of your data, everywhere that browser, everywhere that account has been, everywhere that account has clicked, everything that account has looked at, plus everything within your drive, everything you've saved, your passwords, what sites are you going to, all those details make up the overall understanding that Google has about you, your brand, your business, and your service. So to answer your question, by going to say, having somebody create a bunch of these maps or you going in and creating more than one or creating a boatload, I don't think it's going to have a direct impact, but at least having it in there and giving Google an understanding, I think for an overall campaign, it's definitely something on the list. It's just not a high impact item. All right. So hopefully that helps you. Do you do SEO for companies? I'd love to have your services. I do. It depends on the service. You know, as I've been talking with more people here, other than what I've had forever, and referrals from people that are generally in a local area, you know, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Florida, where I'm from, people that are brought to me from the travel club owners, which has really helped me throughout my, you know, probably the last 6 years. I'm starting to notice that there's a lot of services that, you know, the bigger companies don't offer. Like, they want to do the whole package, you know. I want to assemble more services that are more based around things that you need, small things, like Schema Markup, right? That's a great service that should be provided. An overall audit and then a checklist, I think that's a good service. You know what I mean? So that's more of the type of service that I would provide. Like, maybe you need links. Maybe you need strategy plus links. Hey, how would you set this up? How do I set up a buffer layer? You know, you get what I mean? You know, maybe have a buffer service. I really like those, you know, those, I forget their names. There's a bunch of them, right? And they make YouTube videos, and they call it the SEO shield. I love that. They create a buffer layer, and then they pummel it with links, a buffer, and then they power it up with junk links. I think, you know, like, that's a cool little service, you know? But I like the coining of the buffer. So that kind of stuff, strategy. But as far as web design, the whole nine, where I need like 4 guys working for me, that's not something I could help you with. But, you know, everything else, I could certainly help you with it. You know, I don't know. This is something that I've been really contemplating. I even talked with my wife, because I've been helping her, and I told her, hey, listen, you know, I really want to go all in on helping other businesses, which she thinks I'm completely insane, right? And I'm like, no, I said, you know, even when I was doing the stuff outside of the timeshare stuff, because she understands what I'm doing, you know, she can see it. I don't know, but this has been something that's been driving me crazy. Like, do I want to have an agency, or do I want to be, you know, I don't know. I'm just, who else am I going to talk to about SEO other than the 30 people that have decided to join me and share this time with me, you know? I don't know. I'd really like to start offering services, but I like doing the training, you know? I like doing the consulting, and I don't know, then I gotta like train people on how to do it. It's just too much. I don't know. I was talking to Ruan about this. I don't know. That's just, I just can't see myself doing that. But anyway, moving on, more questions. Chris, what is your background? You seem like a hacker, are you? Well, I have done pen testing for multiple different brands. I used to get contracts. But they're one and done deals. Like, you'll make $5,000 or $6,000, you know, to check a network or whatever the case may be. I'm an ethical guy. I'm not a, you know, I'm an ethical hacker. Yes, I am. But yeah, I don't do anything. I don't do anything wrong ever. Not anymore. No. Not me. I'm not a hacker, no. But as far as background, I'm from Florida. Fort Myers, Florida. I was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I moved to Pennsylvania, a town called Wilkes-Barre. And then from Wilkes-Barre, I just moved around all those towns, and now I'm here in Tamaqua. I own a home here in Tamaqua, in Pottsville, and another very small town called Orwigsburg. And we rent those small little properties out. But you know, I don't know. So that's a long story short. I've a catering site, which is ranking very well on Medium City. I get leads every day. Oh, also the gentleman or the lady that gave me the site to look at, Are You Still On? It was called, Junk. It was called this right here. Rawa. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. I don't even know what it is. I guess Ruyu Home? Something Home. Are you still on? And if you are, we're going to go have a look. All right? In a second. I'm not sure what your question is, but all right. So, you have a medium. Okay. So, I have a catering site which is ranking very well on a medium city. I get leads every day, but I'm just an SEO and I'm not a caterer. What do you think I should do? Selling the website or selling the leads? Well, do you see? And what you need to do is the same exact thing. I've been in this predicament before. And here's my conclusion. The answer is the same for both. What you need to do is find already established businesses within that demographic and start hitting the phone, right? And then no matter what, you're going to have to prove to the potential prospect the value of the site, right? By you just talking with them, getting a meeting. I'll tell you this. Here's what I'll say. When you get somebody on the phone, do not discuss anything over the phone. I mean, talk to them and set up an appointment to meet them in person. All right? Trust me, it's very effective. You want to be able to meet with them and look them in the eye. You want to be able to speak with them. And then cover all of the details and the aspects of the business, about the leads, where they come from, who they are, what you do, your background, your family. Like, talk to them like a human, right? So when you're making those calls and you finally get a yes, you want to be able to meet them for an appointment. When you get the appointment, then you lay out the details. No matter what, you're going to have to provide value to show proof that this is a working concept. They're getting calls, they're getting leads. At that time, right, you would always start off with the leads, but once they're coming in and they see that it's a working progress, this could be 30 days down the road. Once they see that it's working, if it's in the back of your mind that you want to sell, you see what I mean? That's when you want a proposition. But the issue is, do you want that residual, right? An X amount of income each time and then keep creating websites and selling more leads and find another competitor, right? That's in their local market and start selling them leads so you can get maybe a little bidding war going on, right? Or get a higher value on your website at the end. So the long story short is this. I would be calling localized business that can buy my leads. I'm looking for a face-to-face to be able to meet with them, to explain the exact details and exactly what I can do for them. It's all about them. Remember that. At that time, you're going to have to prove. When you prove by sending them leads, whether they're free or, this is how many I'm giving you. As you can see, it's been coming from me. At that time, once they see the value, it's been proven, you're discussing, here's the price per lead. And then if you really want to sell, that's when you say, okay, this is how many come in after these last 60 days. You'll make a base average, and then you'll come up with your price at say a 2-year multiple or whatever you want to do. All right. So, the ball is really in your court, but it all starts with the phone call, the sit down, and then the proof. Those are really going to be your steps that you have to take, in my opinion. I've only gone through that process 2 times, where I wanted to sell the site, and that's what I did. So hopefully that helps you. And plus it was easy for me too, because I already had the in. So they already know who I was. They already knew what I was doing. They already pretty much knew. So it was, they call that a laydown. Easy fruit. It was a lay down sale. It was easy for me to get the one-on-one. Everything was easy, but that was the process. So hopefully that helps you. I think I'm too late today. How much do you charge for Schema Markup, and what other individual services do you offer? First, though, I had this one. Hi, Chris. Do you know how long Google bot crawling and indexing new page website? I'm not sure. I mean, as far as crawling, when you update your sitemap, right, you'll notice that it was in token, and when you go back to check the SERPs to see cache, this is an easy way to do it. You'll notice that by the next day it was recached. generally. Lately, it's been a little slower. But within a day, they're going to crawl it and see it as long as you're updating it into the sitemaps. Okay? So that's my answer. But you can always go in, check that page, see when it was cached, and then you'll know when it was crawled. Or if it's a fresh page, if it starts showing up in the SERPs, generally when you update that sitemap, you'll see it right away. But lately, again, it's been slower. So hopefully that helps you. All right. So schema markup, I've worked with multiple people, all different types of pricing, right? Depending on how many pages, depending on past relationship, depending on what exactly they needed. Is it going to be a long-term client? It really depended on those types of factors. All right. Generally, say $40 to $75 a page. It really depended on what needed to be done and how much time was in there, right? As far as other services are concerned, consultation, private one-on-one training, schema per page, site audits. I like to do what I call as a page audit. I'd rather do the page per page. What other have I been doing? Oh, citations, press release service, PBNs, and PBN build-outs, right? Other than that, that's really about it. And how I do it is half now, half on delivery, right? Because I've worked with people in the past, and it just didn't work out. So that's how I like to do it. Half, and then half after completion once we're at an even keel. All right? But I don't just take in everybody. Usually, generally, I want to meet or talk to you face to face. A meet is what I usually use. A meet, there's usually an initial consultation. We talk, I see what your issue is, and then usually I'm proposition. So if you need anything, message me, and then we can have a talk. All right? Hopefully I could help you out. Media Bay. Hey, Chris. Hello to you. Media Bay says, I think I'm too late. No, you're not too late. You can stake me. I wouldn't do that. I'm a very non-violent guy. Training people is good. Are you helping other to be self-independent? However, service is important too. You have a family, so you need decent cash flow. See, and that's exactly. You know, I had a very steady little flow going, and everything was going completely fine. And I really, I just wanted to be able to pick up a couple of customers and teach. But as I'm getting more people, I'm being more public. It's not just a slow flow, right? I'm getting more people to be able to help more people in more niches. And what I'm starting to see and find out is people need services. And then when they do find a person that's reputable, that knows their stuff, their prices are so astronomical that there's no possible way that Joe the car wash detailer or the car detailer could ever possibly you get what I'm saying? You get somebody that's reputable, you call them, because what I did is I even went around to some of these guys just to see, hey, what's your rates for a consultation? I didn't ask them. I put in submissions as I was a normal customer, not in my name, just to see, what do you charge for consultation? Okay, what's a site audit cost? Okay, what's this? What's that? How much is this? How do you do that, right? And the prices are just, they don't fit a median household income of $64,000 a year, right? And that's really, you get what I'm saying? So, I want to be able to help that market. That's the market that I want to target. I know how everybody doesn't want to take the low end clients, but those are the people that I think need the expert help the most. So yeah, I don't know, but I agree with you with the services plus the training. I want to teach people here's how you do it. You can do it for yourself. That's why I was thinking more about, I really like, I liked what Chase was doing. He was doing like, I don't know if it was weekly or twice a week, and then he was meeting with like a bunch of people. They were doing it on like Zoom. When I saw him doing that, I was like, wow, that's a great idea. I really like that concept, where you're talking way more openly than I would say publicly, right? You're giving people more finite details on a group level, and then walking them through processes, because that's really what it is. It's about establishing a process that you can do repeatedly, learn it, and then show it to somebody that can do it for you, right? Once you have a process down, that's really, I like that idea. Group process training. Very, 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 very effective. Lower cost way to be able to help multiple people. I really like that. Instead of a training where it's like $200 or something. It's just. But anyway, these are the things I've been thinking about. It's funny that you're mentioning these things. Jeff. All right. So Aaron says, as you know, getting backlinks through guest posts these days is getting time consuming and expensive. Is there any other backlink strategies you recommend that are safe? Forum links, any recommended? Any link building has a level and a degree of risk. Okay. With that being said, guest posts from random blogs, all right, unless they are a guest post from reputable authority domains, not authority as in far as metrics, we're talking about authority domains. An authority domain is one that is recognizable within your industry. I'm sure you have them, right? But we're talking about sites like Mashable. We're talking about sites like Digital Trends. We're talking about sites like Home Advisor. These sites are recognizable. These are authority domains. Guest posts on those, those are hard to come by sometimes unless you want to pay. But what I'm getting at is this. Just because if you're going and you're paying for a guest post, chances are that that's just somebody's network. Because I've gone through all of these people by the hour, all of them. And when you pay for these guest posts, these white hat links, you're still buying links, How many times when you send out your emails, right? You've done competitive research. Who asked me that? Aaron. All right. Aaron, I'm sure you've done this before. You pulled in your top 10 competitors. You pulled in all of their links and you compiled a list, or you had your VA do it, right? Or your wife or whoever, right? Somebody who helps you, your daughter like I do. I said, okay, go through this list, check these sites. But take out anything that's below this authority, right? TF30 or below, get rid of it. And then go through these sites and get a contact information, right? Reach out to all those sites. So you sent out 300 emails and you got 4 responses. Everybody else was nothing, right? But 4 people said, sure. $100, $100, $200, right? $75. I mean, this is what you're running into. So what I'm getting at is, I would steer clear of the guest post. I'm not sure why you're not just trying to create a buffer layer or an authority layer and then utilizing higher quality paid links in order to increase the power of, but I think that focusing on off page without the on page is just so expensive. It really is. I would nail down that on page first, and it's going to save you so much in the long run. And getting more content built can be cheaper than links. When you're going out and you're getting, say TrustFlow 40 links at $80 a piece, that gets expensive, when for $80 you could probably write 2 good articles, quality articles, maybe 3. So I'd focus on page content before any of the off-page stuff. But as far as the off-page, set up an authority layer and start hammering that with links. And it'll keep your site safe. You'll be able to rest at night. And you'll be able to get the rankings that you want. So I hope that helps you out. All right. How can I bulk change the date in multiple WordPress posts? Well, I generally just go into click quick edit and then change it that way. However, inside of your sitemap, you don't want to change them all at once, because if you're looking for a freshness boost, they need to be different. All right. So if that's what you're going after, the freshness boost, make sure that you're making some type of edit on page, so when they cache that page, and they're different, they have to be different, that you are getting the boost that you're looking for, if that's why you're trying to do it. I assume you're here, so it's an SEO deal, Chris, I have a question about the Google Map pin makers on Fiverr. Does this really work? You're talking about the guys that do those mass pins. You're talking about these guys here. 5,000 Google Maps citations. These things here. So if we go in here to images, I'll show you. This stuff here, this nonsense, it's all within one, and that's the problem. There's software out there that does this. So they've bought in the software for $70, and then you give them the keywords or the things, and then it just goes in there and boop, 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 boop. Look how many images there are. This has been going on for quite some time. If it had an effect, then, look at this one. This is completely absurd. Look at this. Look at this. This is incredible, really. I love it. Do I think that it's effective? No, I don't. I think that, like we talked about before, having one within your file of data, when Google pulls that data from your Drive file and it's within there, it's just helping along Google understand what everything that you're doing is about. One account, one drive, one GMB. You see what I'm getting at? Hopefully that helps you. Oh, this is my guy here. All right. So this gentleman asked me to take a look, because I believe that his main concern, and if you're still here, are you here? Is this your site? Who said this to me? Control F, RA. Here, let's put it up here. We're gonna look for you real quick here. All right, here you are. Lee Wild. Are you still here, brother? And if you are, we're going to take a look. What was your question? Can you check how to SEO improve and speed up? Okay. So let's take a look at this really quick. View source. All right. Control F. WORD. PRE. Okay, so this is a WordPress site. Okay, so this is a WordPress site. And then what is your keyword? What are you trying to rank for here? So let's go to high quality, comfortable sofas. Okay, so you're trying to rank for comfortable sofas. Okay, so let's go take a look at the SERP. Okay, real quick here. So comfortable sofas. Let's take a look here. So you're in cahoots with this guy here. popsugar.com. All right, so then we're going to head over here to GT Metrics. And we want to take a look at popsugar, right? .com, I believe that's what it was. Test the site. Let's go ahead and let that run for a moment. And then we're going to take a look at yours. Now what we want to do is we want to see, let's inspect. Let's just take a look at something really quick here. We're going to go in here to sources. We're going to go to WP content. We're going to go to plugins. Now let's take a look here. Auto optimize, Elementor, uploads. Okay, well, Elementor is generally, I have it on that Bluebeam site. It was the first time that I used it. I don't like it per se, and I think that it is slow, right? It causes so much junk. Like, did you see this? You know, look at look at this. If I right click on this and I look at your source, like this stuff that's right here up at the top here, like look at this stuff. This is generated by freaking, like, look at this stuff. This is Elementor. Like, look at this. Wow. Right? And you don't even really have anything on this page. It's just text and some photos and some tabs, right? And then if you go and take a look at, here, like, let's just take a look at, I'll just use mine because I don't want to use anybody else's. Chris Palmer Marketing. Let's just use this. Again, there's nothing on the page, but if we take a look at the source, see how clean it is? You get what I'm saying? And then you have this crap down here. But this is one block. What I'm getting at is WordPress and these builders do this. But what I don't like about Elementor is that it does this to you. Like, it's just a wall. Look at all this. You know, that has something to do sometimes with performance. The next thing that I'm looking at is I want to see your competition. So your leading competitor, their site is fully loading at 1.6. If we take a look here at the waterfall, or I'm sorry, not waterfall, timing. Oh, they're not giving it to me. Well, let's check out why slow. Wow, okay. 4 megabytes. Okay, 445 requests. Now let's take a look at you really quick here and see. And the reason why I'm doing this is because if the leading competitor, right, like, speed shouldn't be a ranking issue in your niche unless that you're completely slower than all of what of Google is already showing. You just, you know, yes, 1 second is optimal. But if everybody's site is loading at 10 seconds and you have a 9-second site, then that could be an edge. That's okay, right? I'm using that as an example. So one of the other things that I noticed within your site here, let's take a look at your uploads. 5, 6, 7. Oh, so you have a what? 1, 2, 3, 3-year-old site? Okay. I'm guessing that's 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, 5-year site? I don't know. Or WP content, cache, and auto optimize. I don't really like. Yeah. Okay. So here's what I would do. I have, if you want, I mean, I don't even know what, you know, did you see that? Here's, oh, well, there's one thing that you can do. Definitely, if you like auto optimize, go and get flying pages, okay? Because that'll take care of the leverage browser caching. If you like that plugin, okay, go get flying pages. It's free, okay? And that'll help you with some of this stuff here, below here. And then as far as these images are concerned, what you can do is go inside of WordPress, right? And scale your images. When you go to edit your image within WordPress, you can scale the image. So it'll be the same, but it's scaled, all right? Also, what you can do is you can go here and you're looking for this. Like, take those images that are super large and you're looking for next gen JPEG to JPEG 2000, right? Converter, free. And what you can do is you could take those images. I don't know if you had a PNG. What are you using? PNGs? Let me take a look here. JPEGs, perfect. So you could take those images, take them to a converter. Look at here. Here's my geodata. Take those JPEGs, make them to JPEG 2000s, convert them, make them small, and then go in. When you upload them, you could scale them back down, and they'll be ultra fast. They'll be small images, but they'll look crisp. They'll look nice, like your images do. They look good. Also, if you want, if you don't, you know, if you don't care about the plugins, if you want to stick with this one, go get flying pages. It'll help you. But before you buy it, if you want to try it, I offer a you know, within that Chris Palmer Podia, if you want WP Rocket, I have it there. And WP Rocket will certainly help your site out, you know, with these scores. You'll have an excellent site. You know, so if we go here and you take a look here, I'll show you. I have WP Rocket on this site, chrispalmermarketing.com. So I'll just show you, but hopefully that helps you out. I know that was your question about speed. That's what I would do. All right. When you're looking at your competitors, their sites are running really slow. So I don't think if it's a ranking issue, but if you want to get a little bit faster, I'd scale down those images, or I would convert them into JPEG 2000 and super scrunch them, or get a image smush or whatever other type of plugin. Or you can go and get WP Rocket or go buy it. I'll give it to you an infinite test trial. But that's up to you. So I hope that helped you out. I don't really do e-commerce. I know that the tactics can be the same. But that type of, you know, I'm not really in that space, you know, per se. So like if I gave you a strategy for specifically e-commerce, I'd be talking out my butt, and I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like that's not, you know, I do, initially I did affiliate, but it was called, I did bounty sites. So, and what that really was is, you know, like G sites, AWS sites, and it was for bounty for like hosting. And I also did WordPress themes. That was really what I liked, right? I did bounty. So that means you get one sale, it's $20, you know, or $30 or $50. So I would set up these miniature micro sites, highly optimized, completely pummel them. I'd rank for, you know, 2 months, and then they'd get wiped out, but I'd already have 20 more lined up ready to go. I did that forever. So I know affiliate and the types of strategies that I would utilize for that, and I know local. That's really where, you know, affiliate and local. But to give you an itemized something, a really good strategy specifically for e-commerce, that's just not my bag. That's not something that I do. You know, I don't want to give you wrong information. So I wish I could help you, but that's just not me, you know. If it's black hat or gray hat, if it's affiliate or local, I'm your guy. Or maps, GMB, no problem. I think that fits in the local though. So I wish I could help you. Yeah, Lee Wild, no problem. This was an AMA. I was trying to help as much as possible. But your page isn't performing bad. But look at, see how you see what I mean? Like, I optimized the plugin myself, but you're going to be able to get the score if you're after higher scores, and you want to shave some time off. I could probably get it even faster than this. I guarantee you that it's the images. Yeah. See, I have a bad image. It's a PNG. You know, if I went and took care of this, I'd probably shave off more time. Look, and this is a key element right here. You know, you had 455 requests. I have 18. You know, WP Rocket can take care of a lot. Plus, I've optimized the plugin. If you go and you look right on, say, WordPress and stuff, or on Fiverr. Fiverr's where I found a guy. I found a guy that optimizes WordPress plugins, right? But when you find those guys, what you'll do is you'll pay extra for them to record it. This is what I did. So that way I could see what they're doing and how they can do it. Because I don't want to just pay you and then have you do it, because then I got to keep paying you, right? I want you to show me how to do it. So that way I know. So as far as, you know, the speed plugins and some of the plugins, I know how to optimize them, how to take out stuff that doesn't necessarily need to be there, how to shorten the code, how to, you know, So optimizing your plugins and doing images will highly affect how your site runs and performs. So I hope that helps you out. If you don't want to do it and you have money, if you have budget, look for somebody to optimize your plugins. There's guys out there, there's not that many, but there's guys that do it and they'll certainly help you out, you know. And then if you're still running slow, then I would start looking, it might be a server issue. I don't know where you're running at. Where's your site running? Well, you're getting it for that. But anyway, you get the point. I'd be looking at the server. I was going to go and look up everything, but we don't need to get in all those details. And plus, I'm sure you don't want me showing everybody that might see this your IP. But yeah, there you go. You can get a lot of details in here. I don't know if anybody's ever used this before, but it's helpful to learn what's going on with the site. Like I was able to figure out everything, you know, right inside of here about a website. All right, so we'll get off of that gentleman's site. What's the best inbound linking SEO strategy for car rental businesses? Well, one of the first things that I'll always do is this. So you're going to go to your favorite tool. I use Sem Rush. You can use whatever you want. One of the first things that you should be doing is looking at what is coming in. You know what I mean? Like for an inbound linking strategy. So let's say that I'm a car dealer in, I don't know, what town are you in? Let's say that you're in Miami. That's competitive. So Miami Honda dealer, right? So I want to rank for Miami Honda dealer or whatever it is. I'm looking and I'm down here. This is mine here. So what I want to do is I want to look up here and see, okay, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 competitor. I'm going to then pull in their site. I'm going to put it inside of Sem Rush, right? We're going to do Backlink Analytics. You could also come over here if you really want to, and then take a look at the domain overview, and you can find it within there. But what you're looking at is you want to look at the anchor text that's coming into the site. What's the percentages of the anchor text? I'm not saying that you need to match it, but what are the words and how many times is that word coming in as far as an anchor text? And what is the power of the sites? What I like to do is whatever metric. I like to use TrustFlow as a barometer. For quick answers, I like to use Moz only because of the bar. It's easy, it's there, right? But generally what I like to do is, say you pull in that competitor. I first do the analyzation of the anchor text. Okay, they're using this keyword, this keyword, this keyword. Primarily what you're looking for is what keyword are they using the most within their anchor text. So I know the most powerful links that I'm going to get need to contain that keyword. The next step that I want to do is any links that are not a TrustFlow 30 or higher, take them out, because the sites aren't ranking off of the junk. They're ranking off the better quality links. You know, you could build 20 TF20s, TF10s, but if you build one TF50, it's like all those links in one. You see what I'm saying? So I just generally kick those off, and what you'll tend to find out is a site is really only ranking off a couple good links. So I hope that helps you out as far as figuring that type of stuff out. And if you're not using Sem Rush, you should. I know they changed this not too long ago. As far as backlinks, Ahrefs might have them, but as far as keyword research, and the PPC, you can't really beat Sem Rush, not in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Craig, hey brother, how are you? It's good to have you. Great to have you on. Lee Wild, Black Gray Affiliate Local GMB. Understood. Yep, that's me. Black Hat, Gray Hat Affiliate Local in GMB. Yep, that's pretty much about it. Dude, that water canister. This one? Yeah. Would you consider remaking page in Gutenberg to make it lighter? You know, I would highly recommend if you have the time. I really like I like this builder. I've been playing around with this builder a little bit. I think it's this one here. Yeah. So if you come in here, Oxygen. And here I'll show you how they look, because obviously I'm sure you like this. So let's go to all pages. I think I have one that I put out. Edit with Oxygen. So if you want something that's fast and easy and it runs well, and you can do so many optimizations, like you can super customize it. Like I'm loving this Oxygen. You know, it might be expensive, but they give you a license that's good for all the websites. So if you're building sites for people, or if you have multiple projects, once you get the flow of this, you only buy it once and then you can use it on all your sites. That's why I liked it. Like, it was worth the $200 or worth $300 or whatever. I didn't really care, because I'm like, okay, I could buy it once and then use it. Because I really liked Thrive. I like the Thrive Architect. That works very well, and it works well with all the other plugins like WP Rocket. But this is what I'm just showing you, like, one of their little templates, because I was playing around with it. I was playing it with it to learn it, because it does have a little bit of a curve. But it looks really good. I mean, this is just one of their templates that I just uploaded it the other day because I was playing with it. But it looks clean. And then the best part is this. Let me see if it'll let me do a again, I just got I've only played with this a couple times. So, and then here's what I like about it. So you go over here to structure, and then you can start laying it out. Like, you can really build the site right here. So the body, the header, and then you can move all this stuff around, and you could play around with it right inside of here. It's really cool. This builder is really cool, and the code is super clean. So like if you go over here to OXYGE, sheesh, I don't know what the heck just came over me. Like, how do you spell oxygen? Here, like, look at the code. Here, I'll just show you how clean it looks. And this is a builder. Take in mind, though, right? So if you come over, this is one that's already built. So this has a bunch of junk on it, right? So this should look pretty muddy. And I think this was the page I looked at. Look how clean the code is. See it? See how it's clean? I mean, they have this, but that's to be expected. This is like HTML. This is like the this is probably like the content or whatever. Let's see here. Yeah, this is normal. You're gonna have this part, but the rest of it is just it's just clean, you know. So yeah, I recommend, you know, if you're gonna switch builders, I would recommend getting Oxygen. I'm not affiliated with them. I like the tool. I like what you can do with it. It runs clean, and then once you buy it once, you have it for all your sites. So I think it's cool. I highly recommend it. I can't really say much. Chase. Hey, Chase. How are you, brother? You messaged me? Did you? Yeah, you know, hey, last time we talked, you know, I wasn't sure. I'm glad to hear from you, man. I'm glad to hear from you. Maybe I shouldn't read this message. No, I won't read it live. I won't read it live because I'm not sure what it says. I just tried Flying Pages. It's amazing. Yes, Jeff. Flying Pages is great, man. I forget, who had that? I don't know who had it, but I was going through somebody's site, and I was just checking, like, because I liked the way it looked. It ran really fast. So I just did my normal thing. I inspected. I went into the sources. I checked. I'm like, wow, they're using this theme. They're using this. And then it showed the plugins. I was like, ooh. That's how I learned about SEO Press. I was going through somebody's site, and I'm like, damn, They had all this schema, and it was just all structured really well. And I'm like, wow, this isn't custom, because you can read within there. They put like the code within it that says site-wide, and that's not something generally somebody types in, right, when it's custom. So I knew that it was some type of builder or a generator. So then I started looking like, where did this come from? And bada bing, bada boom, I found out, SEO Press, this stuff's pretty cool. So yeah. Moving down the list here. Yes, Craig, that water canister. It's just a gallon jug. This is a gallon jug. I got another one here too. But yeah. This is my one for the day. I'm almost done, as you can see, with my gallon. But yeah, it looks like we, how long have I been here? Wow, my wife's been gone a while. I wonder what she's doing. Maybe I should give her a call, huh? See how she's doing. It seems like she's been gone for a while. But hey, no other questions? Have we gone through them? All right, so if we're out of questions, let's go play around with Sem Rush. So let's bring this up. What I need is, what do I need? This is one that I like. I kind of like this. Well, I don't kind of like it. I really like it. So generally, I'll come in here. We're gonna do Xbox controllers. And what I'm looking for is keyword difficulty of, say, like, I don't know, 1 to 45 is probably fine. We're looking for easy. Easy and possible, because the site has nothing going on really. Wow. One freaking keyword. Let's get rid of that. So I think that's interesting. I'm just waiting for some questions, really. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Ask some questions. Let me see what I got going on here. Oh, I had this guy build me these out here. See, here's a perfect example. Somebody was asking me about buffers. So I had this guy build me these buffers. Now, I gave him specific instructions. As you can see here, I asked for these here. Look at, they're on the list here. It's funny that he put these here, because I said, okay, KiwiBox, SoundClick, Tumblr, Instructables, Pure Volume, LiveJournal, Win.com, Goodreads, ISSUU, Storify Academia, MyOpera, and Medium. I said, yo, go build me. I didn't say yo. I said, could you please build me these specific domains? And this is what he came back with. So I was very interested to see this, because I was like, hey, I need you to build me, I wanted him to build me a buffer layer. But he only gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 good ones. 10 good sites out of this 26. So, which is perfect, which is exactly what I would need. So, that'll work fine. So then what I'm going to do is I'm looking for more GSA lists, right? So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to look for one of these babies in here. Let's go take a look at this guy's work. I only checked the first one. I was like, yeah, this looks all right, buddy. Let's go over here and take a look at this. So this is what this guy made. I can't wait to see it. Hey, there I am. I was so happy when I went to the doctor. I was like, hey, I'm taking a picture. So this is what we made. I gave him this. I spun this content for him. I won't tell you where I got it from, but it's definitely a popular guy. I took this content and I spun it up. But yeah, so this isn't that bad. I told him I wanted multiple pages though. Maybe I should have checked this out. But yeah, you can see inside of here. Digital marketer, the who, what, why in digital marketing. Are you know? Look at this. Are you know? Come on, man. So this is the kind of stuff sometimes you got to deal with when you're getting work done. But yeah, I was going to use this as a buffer. As you can see, I'm going with branded, my name. I think that this is so interesting that it's, I don't know if that's Indian. I'm not sure. I assume that it is. I don't read that language. I don't even know if that's Chinese or what. Maybe it is because the guy is in Vietnam, so I'm not sure what language that would. Vietnamese, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But what the plan will be is this. So I'll probably come over here to say like Fiverr. Because when I want to get another list, because you can let it run forever, right? Say GSA. But a real easy way is you can just type in 1 million GSA blast, right? And let's take a look here. So what I'll do is I'll take one of these junk, as you can see on here, like some of these are just shite, right? So we'll say like Web Garden, or just one of them, any of them. And I'll tell them, hey, I'm going to probably go inside of here. So there's 3 people that are offering 1 million. So let's take a look. They have 2 sales, 15 sales, 13 sales. So let's go with this guy's got a 4.9 with 15 sales. So this guy seems to be doing something right. And I bet you he'll do an upsell. 1 month, no. 1 million blasts. Don't they have an upsell where I could get more? Oh, here we go. 6 million links. Perfect. So what I'll do is I'll probably go inside of here for $25. See, that seems a little high to me. That seems too high for a list. I mean, it's not too high for a list. I've paid more for auto-approve lists. Don't get me wrong. But look at, there you go. $360 is way too high. But there's 100, this guy's got 100 million list. Or this lady, I should say. 100 million links. But the question is what I want to do is I want you to, I don't want any repeats. I just want stationary links. So 10 million for $40, I'd give them $40 for a 10 million list. But I want them to take away any of the repeats, because what you'll notice with these people that give you the lists, they'll do different pages, but it's the same IP, it's the same site, right? But on different pages, they're putting a link. So when you get through the 10 million, you'll probably really only have like 5 million or 6 million, you know? I don't know. I would have dialogue with these ladies and gentlemen here. But I might buy this one, and this one. I'd point it into this site, and then what I'll do is once they give me the proof, it'll be inside of this format here. Then what I'll do is I'll just run that through GSA, and I'll set the parameters within GSA primarily for outbound links, because I kind of like how Moz feels about outbound links. When you go to a site that has a whole bunch of outbound links, what does it say? It says, oh, it has a giant spam score, right? So they're looking at the amount of outbound links on how many pages determines a spam score, right? Because they're not analyzing. I mean, I don't think that they're analyzing, I think it's based off of outbound links. So then I'll just set it at 5 outbound links the title or somewhere on the page has to say this list of keywords. None of the pages can talk about these keywords, right? And that's the template that I would set up. But as you can see, you can go in here and these guys are going to give me their list of however many links. If we go through all 3 of them, I'm sure I could end up getting, 20 or 30 million link list, right? We'll consider them auto approve for $15, $20, $50 for $50. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do, and I'll just hammer that one. And then once I have my very own list, we'll say we end up with 1 million or 2 million high authoritative, right? High domain authority, according to Moz. Low outbound links. They're talking about the keywords that are related to the service that I want, right? That are talking about whatever. And then what I'll do is I'll just blast each of these other remaining 10 domains with those links, and I'll use those as a power up. And we'll call this tier 2, So that's probably going to be one of the plans here for these. I'm going to share that with you guys, obviously. I think that'll be really fun. I think that'll be fun, like the process of going through the GSA list and whatnot. People have asked me a million times about GSA, like how to do it. How do you do it, Chris? And I'll show you. I'd love to show you. Let's see if we have any more questions. I mean, I can't really babble on for much longer here. All right, Chase, I'll definitely get in touch with you. I'm sure you're not on anymore. Yes, Craig, that water canister. Have you heard of Magic Page plugin? Magic Page plugin? No, I haven't, but I'm going to go take a look here. MAGIC, Magic Page plugin. Let's take a look. We're going to take a look here. We were recommended Magic Page plugin. And this tool is a JVZoo tool, so that's a little bit of a turnoff. But that doesn't mean anything. Let me take a look here. All right. So this is Magic Page plugin. So really the question is, if they're selling me a Schema plugin, let's take a look and see what they're doing, right? SCHEMA. 12 instances of Schema. So this oh my gosh. It could just be me, but when I go over to a site that's selling an SEO tool, I don't want to see them utilizing Schema from another tool. You know what I'm saying? I might start being a little bit more cautious about these types of things. So, if you're asking as just, I've never used this tool, but just by seeing that right there, and they have a very low amount of actual Schema on the page. How many pages are they? Let's go up here. Let's take a look at sitemap.xml. Let's see if they've submitted a sitemap. Okay. And they're using all-in-one, as we can see here. So let's go to the page, facts, layout type sitemap, scope sitemap, and module with sitemap. Huh. They got a lot of sitemaps going on here. I've never heard of a module with sitemap. Maybe I'm missing something here. Let's go to the page sitemap. I want to see some other pages. Let's take a look and see what kind of schema they're implementing. So here's the thank you page. So let's see if they're going to give me the tool for free. Let's see if we could download it for free right from here. Please visit JVZoo. Training videos are here. Please join the closed Facebook group. I've gotten tools this way before and other stuff. People will have the thank you page and then the download link will be there, right? And then I'm like, click, let me try that out. But these gentlemen, you got to have a Generally the email, a lot of people do that too. They'll email you the stuff, the key. It won't just be download the tool here. My funnels, I'd really like to see, here's a facts page. Let's see what kind of schema they're using on this page. I'm just double checking this tool for you, because, you know, if they're selling me a schema tool, I would expect them to have some schema on their page to showcase, but they're using all-in-one, which is okay. I mean, that could just be for basic stuff. Here's the script. WL, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. Product schema. So they got products. Okay. So that's so interesting. You would think that on, you know, so I've made my decision on this particular tool. I personally, I don't like it. I wouldn't buy it, but that's me. I hope it's not your tool. But I wouldn't buy it. Chris, I'd steer clear of that one. I'd go take a look at SEO Press, if you really want to utilize a plugin. Also, two, you know, I like to look at competitors. You know, I'll give you a quick hint. Not using the tool, but if you go and take a look and dissect Yoast's inner pages, take a look at their schemas. They're using slogan schema. They're using logo schema. They're using those guys are doing it, you know. I've went onto their page and taken all kinds of schema off of their page and then redid it to, you know, figure it out for myself. You know, so yeah, I would steer clear of these guys. They're not even putting schema on their pages, you know, so I'd steer clear. And they're not even using their own tool. They're using all-in-one on their own site, which blows my mind. So no, you would think it would say magic page plugin or whatever, you know. So just my opinion, Chris, I'd steer clear. Moving down the list here. Can you show a plumber site which has really good structure and is well SEO optimized? Well, we can go take a look. We'll do that. Let me get through here. So are you no or no? 100. So are you no or no? I don't know what you mean by that. Do you prefer WP Rocket than for cache on WordPress? Do you prefer WP Rocket? Yes. If you're asking me for like a optimization tool, like a caching plugin, I like the functionality within WP Rocket. Now, with that being said, if you can use W3 cache and really tweak it, there's some really excellent walkthroughs that I've seen. You can really do some fun stuff with W3, okay? But if you're looking for a set it, forget it, fast way caching tool, WP Rocket is, in my opinion, I think it's a great tool. And if you want to try it for free, you can get it from my chrispalmerseo.podia.com. I'll give it to you. So yeah, I just booked a consultation with you tomorrow. Oh, I forgot. Speaking of, I'm so happy you remembered. I think I have to meet with somebody today. Thank you for reminding me, but we're okay. Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me on that one. Chris, how about there you go. Darren says it. God bless you, brother. God bless you, Darren. Magic plugin is poor quality. So Darren's definitely does a lot of SEO work. I would consider him in the trenches like myself. So, you know, if he thinks it's horrible, then I would value his opinion on that. Super bad experience. So there you go. Darren's saying it. I would trust his word on that. I just looked at his site, and I just came up with my decision. Gotcha. Thanks, Darren. Yeah, Page Generator Pro. What's Page Generator Pro? Let's go take a look at this now. I think I've seen this tool before. So I've seen these. I'm surprised that you're not. We were using something totally different. Is that what that page was about? So did I see the first sentence in there and miss the point of that last tool? I was thinking it was a schema tool, because I remember seeing schema, and then I went to check, and it's actually a mass generation tool. Oh, that's so funny. It's what he's looking for. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I've seen Page Generator Pro before. To be honest with you, if we're doing it, it's generally one by one, and we just use duplicator. So if no other questions, I know it's running long, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Laugh out loud. Yeah, Darren, I think I missed the scope on that one. I saw the word schema, and I'm like, oh, this tool is for schema, and I just went off the rails. See how I get? I read schema, and I'm like, oh, this is a schema tool, and then I just started looking at the code to see, hey, what kind of schema do they got? It's not even a schema tool, Chris. It's a mass page generator. Hey, I can admit when I'm wrong, but I still think that site stunk. That was my assumption. Hey, I need to get some water. I'll be right back. Please give me some questions, guys. I'm waiting for my wife to come home is what I'm doing. If not, what I'm going to do is at this last piece is I'm probably going to do some like keyword research. But I'll just make another section on this video, and I'll chop it off for the affiliate. I have a question about internal links for location. Shoot, go ahead, ask me. I'm going to fill this up with water and use the lavatory. I'll be like 2 minutes. Give me 1 moment. I'll be right back. Okay, KK! Hi, Hayes. You alright? Alright, buddy. You're a good boy. Alright, family. So I have a question about internal links. Go ahead, shoot. Go for it. Oh, somebody asked me about looking at sites, a plumbing site, for inspiration, right? Oh, is my thing messed up here? See if we can fix that. So now when I'm looking to see, this is what I always do, right? If I'm going into a new niche that I know nothing about, all right, and I want to look for something to get not only inspiration, but looking at what Google's rewarding, then I always want to go into the most competitive markets and see who's dominating and what are they doing. So you said you want to see who's doing things right in a plumbing niche. Well, then what I like to do is this. So what I would do is I'd go to Google Trends, right? Here's how I would figure this out. I'd go to Google Trends, and I'd be like, all right, now I have a general idea of where to look, but I'm going to pretend like I'm brand new and like I just need the information, right? So I'd head over here to Google Trends, and I'd be like, plumber, search term, looking for a plumber, right? I don't know anything about it, and I want to do some competitive research. I want to know where are the best sites going to be? So then I come down here and I look, okay, District Vermont, Maryland, Kentucky, and Georgia. Okay, you got it. So this is where we see a lot of, so here's some of these, and then here's Rising. Okay, but pretty much up here. So then I'm like, okay, so if these are the most active states, let's go to Vermont and take a look. Let's take a look at a, is there a U in there? Did I spell that right? Plumber, Vermont. Let's take a look at the search volume. I mean, Google Trends says that it's super a lot. That might not be the word. It might not just be plumber. Let's take a look over here. Let's see what Surfer has to say. Well, this guy's winning. Let's take a look at his structure. But generally, that's what I'm doing. I want to see where's the highest competition. And then in the highest competition area, what are they doing? Because then that'll give me an idea of, okay, here's how they're structuring. Here's what it looks like, right? And then obviously I'm going to analyze my competition. But if I'm in a weak area, or if I'm building out miniature city pages, right? I have my top level city, and then I'm building all the little towns underneath. You see what I mean? Then I want to see what kind of structure is going to work. So that's why I was just showcasing that. I like to see where's the most competition at. This could go for any keyword. Right off the bat, I don't like this site at all. But let's take a look at structure. I don't like the design. I don't particularly like I mean, black, red, and yellow are always good colors as far as popping out. But to me, this isn't, you know, he's got a flipping, like what's this have to do with plumbing? Like, I almost feel like they're trying to access my computer right now. I don't like this site at all. They don't even have a favicon. This guy's not doing it right. I just don't like it at all. Well, this guy's doing it right. Let's take a look how Roto-Rooter's doing it, and we'll see. So there we go. So we're doing Vermont. And then within, they're doing this small town. Exactly what I just said. You know, we have our main locations within Vermont, and then in the URL structure, it should be Colliture, right? Or whatever the sound is. Okay, I see what they did here. And then it's going right to that page. And then if you go down here, let me guess, it still has... Oh, they took it out. That's interesting. So let's take a look here. Let's go for services. Okay. So plumbing, drain cleaning. Plumbing, emergency plumber. Video camera line inspection. Now, if I go to my location pages, okay, locations. I mean, obviously, I think that you could do better structuring than this. Not saying that this obviously isn't working, but what they did is this. They have their primary, they're doing their locations, and then they're just listing their locations primarily here. But when I go to this location, are they listing their services within the page? Yes. Okay, so that makes sense to me. And then when I go over here, it's taking me over to their service pages. I think that this can be effective, but I generally, this is a large site, right? They have a lot of locations. We know that they're not just in these, semi-small little area. It's only because I clicked on the one in Vermont. So they're just giving me the locales for this particular area. I don't see, I don't see why there's any issue here. But within locations, it just seems a little clunky to me. I think you can make it smoother. So let's keep going. I mean, that's perfectly fine how they did that. They're listing the locations, and then they have their services within the services pages. Then you can click and see other services and other locations, which is fine. But I would rather it in the structure. Like, okay, I'm looking at my locations, or I'm looking at my services, either or, and then I'm able to click and see. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not here. What's their locations? And then it's listed down bottom, or within maybe a search. But let's keep looking. Let's see if there's anybody else that has a really nice structure or something that I think is more clean of a structure. I don't like the way this site looks, but, that doesn't mean much. Home. This isn't necessarily... let's go for a higher... I would say that... what is it? LAS? No, LOS. Here we go. Let's go to Los Angeles. Los Angeles is generally a higher competition area. So here's Ritz. I've seen these guys all over the place, and Easy Plumbing is all over the place. So this guy, I like. Let's go check out Mike. I think I've analyzed this site before. I think this guy's got it going on. I think this guy might have it right. And I'm not saying that Roto had it wrong. I just don't really necessarily like that specific structure. I'm not saying that you couldn't do it that way, listing both. It's just that I would segment it between the header and the footer. That's how I like to see it. That's me, though. But you can do it this way. I also like those giant mega menus where then you have your lists. That way the end user can see, like, okay, here's the service areas, here's the services. I also really like those. I'm a big fan of those. So we have all of our services here and our service area. And then what he chose to do, beautiful. So he must have a massive, yeah. I really like what he's doing here. Let's take a look at their structure here. I love what this guy's doing here. Wow, this guy, talk about blanketing. This guy pummeled it. Wow! I really like this guy. I like this site. Whoever asked me to find a site, I really like what this particular website's doing. As far as structuring. As far as the site, let's take a look here. It's clean. If I was looking for inspiration as a plumber, I would take a look here at Mike Diamond. I think that Mike has it going on. He's got it in the URL. He's got a clean page that runs fast. I would take a look at Mike Diamond, whoever asked me that. I don't want to take up too much time with this question. I only looked at 3. But out of those 3 or 4 that I looked at, I really like this. I like how this guy's doing it. I don't know him or anything. I'm just saying. So if my business is in a town with different areas, should I put all the areas of my town on the main page? Well, if you take a look here, you can do it this way. So if you're in one state or one area, you could have your main homepage be focused on the state or the service, right? Your brand. Listed up here, you would be able to have maybe a mega menu or something very similar to this where you're listing your services. But then in the footer, you would list all of your service areas. I kind of showed this within... And the reason being is this too. Obviously you're going to have your sitemap, and like this guy, he wrote sitemap. I wouldn't do that, but he's listing all of the pages, And that's going to be there with your logo and your privacy and all that stuff. But it would also be nice to list the service areas, you know? So you could do it both ways, or you could do a mega menu. I wouldn't literally list them within the page, because if we go, say, to the home page, we know that this gentleman has a lot of different locations. But his primary deal is, as you can see, this is what he's doing the state. This is his home page. He's in California, and then he's going to list all of those other service areas. He's not literally going to talk about them on the page. You see what I mean? He's Mike Diamond, a plumber in California. And as a plumber, I do plumbing, I do drain cleaning, I do water heaters, I do electrical. And then his service area, then on the service area or the service page, the location page, I'm sure he's going to list. In his instance, he is, he's getting out there. What I'd be interested in to look at here is this. I want to know, where is Mike on the map? But here, we won't get into that now, but I'd be curious to know what he was doing there. I hope that helps you out, Media Bay. If you're a plumber, I would follow it just like this. Depending on how many locations you have, I'd be primarily focused on the services, because when a customer finds you in a specific area, they're going to automatically assume that you're servicing that area because you were ranking. But then you'll have a page for that area, so you can get people to land on that page. This guy's got it going on, though. He's got a lot going on. Let's get out of here. All right. So, best bit from Bill's interview yesterday. Well, for me or for everybody else. Well, I'm going to go through that particular I don't know if you noticed or not, but the questions that I were asking were validating a lot of the things that I've covered, that a lot of people thought were relatively controversial. And I knew that Bill was highly respected within the industry, and I knew that he has a very high wealth of knowledge and has been in the industry for a long time. So I can cover, I have the list here, some of the stuff that I asked him that you'll find within there is, I was trying to get him to mention tools to see if he used tools, but he said he didn't. Relevance of a link. Does it matter? I always said no. He totally agreed. Do I think that user signals are replacing backlinks slowly but surely? He certainly agreed. But he said it a lot smoother, One page, one keyword. He had a different view on that, but it made sense in the context that he was agreeing but disagreeing, One primary keyword, but overall, he was focusing more on the topic within the content, but he was optimizing the page for one primary, which totally makes sense. Silos, he likes the idea of silos. I asked about silos. I think they're great too, using high commercial intent and or a keyword that's a buyer keyword, or a keyword that has high commercial intent. And then underneath it, he had a term for it, which is a term that's used by Google within patents. I forget exactly what it was, but there's a term for that. They don't call it siloing, obviously, but having it like a chronological order, that makes sense. It makes sense to search engines, and he really likes them. But a lot of people say, we don't like silos, we don't do silos, we don't think they're effective, or whatever the case is. But I just think it's more it just makes sense to me. That's why I like them. Expired domains, do they influence rank? And his answer was obviously yes, depending upon Yes, his answer was yes. I didn't get into the negative SEO, but people wanted me to ask. Matching the SERP but writing natural, matching what's in the SERP, and he agreed with that. And then no follows are still followed. He answered that, but to a different tune than what I was thinking. It wasn't. He didn't give me a yes or no. And then we talked about VED codes, and I was trying to get more into the CTR, but our time was up. But he has a wealth of knowledge, and he's great. I hope they get him on again. But it was a great interview. I want to go in through there. Those are the questions that I asked him. That was my sheet from yesterday. So I want to go in there and extract some of the information. I really wanted it to be, here's the question, and then what have you read about this within patents that match to this to validate what I've been, seeing. And I run very small tests. I don't have a group. It's just me and Eric, so... I run little tests, and I see, and I play with a lot of sites, and I'm always learning. So I was really looking for somebody with, more knowledge. It was a great talk. It was absolutely phenomenal. I loved talking with him. But I hope you enjoyed that. But yeah, those are the tidbits that I covered since, CBD. That's exactly what I covered in that order. I went down my list. So yeah. Alrighty. So, let's get rid of these. Digital marketer. All right. So if you've never used Sem Rush before, I know a lot of people are fans of Ahrefs. How their keyword difficulty works is it goes from 0 to 100. But see, you would think that like a 0 to 10 would be something that you can do, but their scoring system is a little bit different. As you can see here, they even write it in here. It's interesting the data that they pull back. I think that it's interesting, but I like the way they do their keyword research. I really like playing around with this specific tool, but I still found that for me, I prefer to do it this way. Like I like to see like, okay, I know that I'm getting traffic for a specific keyword. Right? So here's what I like to do. So say I have my site, or say you have your site. All right, let's talk about how I determine what keywords I think that I can rank in determining the actual authority of your site. All right, so if you go into, say, Search Console, okay, or Analytics, or wherever you want. All right, is this the right account? Okay, because I have another account that's flooded, and I don't want to show test sites or anything else. These are my public sites, okay? So, with that being said, not including Chris Palmer Marketing. So when I come inside of here and I go to performance, all right? And I'm sorry, I'm just checking. I'm just looking at something. All right. So, if you take a look, this is how you can determine. You can shoot just a little bit above, all right? And anything below what you're already currently receiving, okay? So, if we take a look in here, my site is primarily, this particular site is ranking for these keywords. Xbox, I wasn't ranking for this before. So what you want to do is, let me see where it's given me the most, Xbox One. I want to see what I'm getting traffic for, and then determine the authority of keywords that I think I could target based off of that. So let's go in here to the keyword overview. Let's go ahead and toss this baby in here and see if anything, if it's worth anything. Xbox One, no signal. I know that I'm ranking for that. Let's double check quick. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 5 for the primary. All right, so that's fine. So I would consider that ranking. So let's take a look here. As in page 1. All right, so volume's 48. Keyword difficulty is a 79. All right, so so let's take a look here. That's interesting. Six. Did I miscount? Interesting. It's down here. Struggling. Add a widget. PLA. Ad copy. Keyword ad history. Okay. So I've been seeing this particular site a lot within the SERPs that I've been competing for. But so this is 79. So what I want to do is I want to double check and see. Okay, so for that particular keyword, we have a 79%. What I'm trying to figure out is I want to gauge the authority of the site, the actual authority. Like in what range, obviously it has to stay within the niche, but in what range is Google actually giving me traffic for? Because as long as I can stay within that range and within my niche or topic, which is Xbox, like it, I hope that makes sense to what I'm getting at here. Because what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, I know that Google's sending me traffic for anything related to Xbox and fixing of Xbox. It's related. I also noticed that they're sending me traffic for, now they're not sending me impressions for this stuff. But if we take a look down here, they also get into, other than Xbox One, let's take a look here. Google Home versus Alexa. This was a page that I fixed, and it started getting traffic. And all I did was add those specific keywords to the H1. I put it in the H1 and I added it more times on the page. I did that live. That's all I did. I went to the SERP. I saw how many times they were using it. I came back. I added it on the page and I put it in the H1. That was it. But I want to double check for any other queries. Let's go to this one. Google Home versus Alexa. I'm starting to get impressions for it. All right, let's stay up here in the higher digits. I want something else. Lightwave, okay. Xbox, no signal. I want another keyword that's not related to... Let's go to this one. Let's see if it's in the same percentile. Now, I'm going to use their barometer as a gauge. You know, I'm guessing that it's going to be within the 79% or lower. And that's going to really let me know, hey, where should I be targeting keywords as long as I'm within this niche? So I'm assuming, wow, that's high. That's very interesting to me. I'm surprised that they're getting this. Wow, I can't believe that I'm even getting traffic for this. Well, I'm not. I'm not, really. Because I highly doubt I'm even anywhere on the first page. Yeah. All right, so that's a bad one. Let's get away from there. I'm looking to figure out where I should be targeting. Let's take a look at this here. All over the board. All right. So let's go back to here. Xbox Series X. All right, let's come over here. Paste it in. All right. So, the last time that we met, we were doing some refreshments. I think that Craig and I went over the site a little bit. He hated the site. I haven't had any time to really mess around with it. I had a project for dinner parties that I was working on. That was my first priority, aside from my family. So I was really working on that. I did an initial sweep of keywords, and we're still, just as an update, I guess we'll get into more of the affiliate stuff now. I guess we'll start talking about that. Let's go over here to Black Hat. Now, I was utilizing and implementing content writers from Black Hat World, as I showcased in the past videos that we did. Okay. Now, the content writers that I went to, let me see if I have anything. All right, so they still haven't written me back. So one of the guys that I went to, the other ones are still on schedule, or they're off schedule. Every single person that I went to are off schedule, completely away from their turnaround time stated within their element. Because I ordered 20, 40, I ordered 50 articles. 50! And I have yet to receive. Now, I want to go ahead and showcase something, but this here is something we're gonna talk about. I've used this guy before. I know that he delivers. It's just not the highest quality as far as like quality writing, but this is the one that I used, and I ordered from this gentleman 20 articles, and if you take a look right here, Chris Palmer. Okay. So I ordered here. This is a message I sent him publicly. I messaged him non-public too, but I'm just catching everybody up on what I was doing. So my objective here is to order 100 articles. I want to get 100 articles. Now, out of those 100 articles, I'm going to have 10 articles written off of the Black Hat World. The Black Hat World content is going to be supporting content to the main content. The main content that I'm going to do is I'm going to pay anywhere between 40 and 50, and we'll talk about where I'll go and get that. But those are going to be, I'm just giving you the outline here, really. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write 10 articles, and I'm going to have 10 articles in each under in a silo structure supporting the main content, okay? That's what I'm going to be using these articles for. So the main top level is going to be the best. We're going to do controllers. Well, we're going to do more research. I know off the top of my head, it's going to be controllers, which is where I was getting a lot of these initial pieces of content for. Controllers, and the other ones were, I don't know. Let's talk about the controllers now. I forget off the top of my head. So this was going to be my controller filler content, not pillar content. All right. Or whatever you want to call it. I know Brian Dean says pillar. I heard a lot of people say pillar. So I'm going to call it pillar content. So I said, cannot wait to see the content for this amazing price. I'll be sure to report back my experience. So this was the order, October 23rd, right? It is now November the 7th. It has been forever. And if you take a look here, down here, I wrote them again. In progress, understood, usually between 4 to 8 days per 5,000 words. So for 20,000 words, I'm looking at a turnaround time because he told me that it's 4 to 8 days per 5,000 words. I ordered 20,000 words, right? I ordered 20 articles from this guy. And I was utilizing, I remember some of them. They were about like Nintendo Switch, like all the little consoles, just filler stuff, 1,000-word articles, because the SERP for the keywords was showing me that most of the articles were 5 to 750 words. So I figured I'd be able to get a higher relevancy value by having 1,000 words when the SERP was showing me about 750, some 800s, things like that. All right, so I was matching to the SERP is what I'm getting at. So that's 4 weeks. Can be sooner. So they're talking it's 30 days to get articles back. A month. All right. So that's an update on that guy. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go inside of here and we'll wait for him because he did like a lot of Nintendo Switch and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get some more stuff going on here. So the new Xbox is, I guess, Xbox Series X. I knew something was coming out, so we're going to see if we can get some content rolling for that. I'll come over here and see if you guys have any questions quick. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, my last question is about branded searches. So that Google shows almost my brand with my targeted keyword. If someone is typing, should this bulk search be like? So keyword brand location or brand keyword location or different order? All right. Okay, do follow Backlink. Not sure what you mean by that, Samir. And a little off topic, but how do we send traffic to a few Google Map stacks I bought off Fiverr? Okay. All right, so the first question is this one. So let's cover this quick. All right. Sending traffic. Okay. So when you're doing a search, all right, your primary keyword, let's say that your primary keyword is plumber, New York. Okay. So if you come upside of here, and then you see this here, see this string, this is where you're going to start developing your searches, right? If you're using some type of mass tool. So you're going to take this, you're going to copy it, and you're going to bring it down into your box here, right? So you can use this as your base. So then when I search for this, right, this is just a query. This goes into the query logs, right? All of that data is going to be recorded. Now, when you have enough of something showing up in a query log, then you're going to be associated with it, right? So here's the query. It's been typed into here, and then you don't want that there. You want to take that away. All right, so that's what it is. It's just a query. I'm showing you. So I did my search. I went up top. I got the search string that I need. Perfect. So when we're talking about brand and association of mass searches, right? Because what we want to do is insert and start associating our brand with specific keywords and make sure that it's coming up in those query logs a lot. So when we're talking about variations, it's going to be multiple variations off of this, right? So you might as well just take the Q, copy it, enter, Control V, right? Control V, 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 V. All right. So I would do best plus, right? I'd get all your variations plus, and then your brand name, okay? So it's always going to be this. So copy, you have your initial, and then best plumber, brand name. Best plumber New York plus brand name plus, you know, a secondary keyword. Okay? I spelled that wrong. All right, secondary. Now, what else I would do is this. All right, what you should be doing, if this is one of our primary keywords, plumber New York, one of the things other than looking at, you want to use, what I was getting at here was you're using sentiment, best, top, okay? Those specific keywords plus the location, all right? But whatever your primary is, come on down here and take a look at these words that are bolded, okay? So I would start associating my business name plus your primary with these keywords. All right, see? So if my primary keyword is this, I want to start associating myself with these words that are bolded to this term. This is what these words are relevant to plumber in New York, Manhattan, Best NYC, Brooklyn NY, Hub Plumbing, plumbing services, okay? Also, what I would be doing is if you take a look inside of here, all right, when I'm compiling searches that I want to run it at scale, one of the biggest ones, I'm gonna show this complimentary, but this will be a big one for you guys. All right, if you have some type of traffic generating system, okay, we're talking about scale here, and we're talking about query logs. What's highly effective is this right here, and I'm never gonna show this again. All right. So if this is my business right here, all right, there's key specific places that are on the map, right? In this particular area, they stand out relatively easy. Jamaica Estates, Jamaica Hills, Briarwood, Jamaica, South Jamaica. See, right? Now, more specifically, what I like to do is specific streets within a 5 or 10 mile radius, right? Now, for this particular area, we're lucky enough to have these big ones so close. So what I would do is this. If this is my business, right? I find my business, I come on over here, and what I'm looking to do is this. I want here, get rid of this. I need the plumber name. New York Plumbing and Heating Cooling Corp. All right, so click on that. Click on directions. Okay? And then if you take a look here, what I would be doing is this. So let's just say you've gone to your 10-mile radius and you have hits in all of these areas. If you can't find hits being big primary points, like if I scroll out, it's going to give you the radius pretty much, but I would go to the big points first and then the lower points second. And what I would do is, let's just say 115th Street, okay? All right, once you have your list, they're giving you the query that you can then pull in. So if you take a look here up here at the string, you're pulling directional request queries from particular locations that are surrounding your area. One of the ways to expand proximity. So all I would be doing is sending mass query calls to these particular, they're giving it to you here. Look at, They're giving me the queries. So you compile your list of the outside broader ones and also the inner ones. And then I'd be running mass queries to this right here, this, sending these queries through just like this. Bam, 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 bam. So here it is, cut, right? So then when you fire up your bot, that's just one. So I'm going to all the bigger points, right? If I'm already ranking within my primary location, I go to the bigger points. If not, and you're just brand new, I'd be going to these surrounding areas. Go 5 miles out. Start picking the streets out. Start picking landmarks out. After that's done, and this is what I'm doing. I'm literally, this would go on my list, right? Because what we're doing is we're just calling queries. We're associating ourselves with, we're putting it in. People are looking for this. This is the details. What is this, Chris? This is a map directional request from a business where they are. You want to do that one first, going to my business. So from there to here, it should be vice versa. But what's inside of here is the coordinate locations plus the locales. But what we care about most is this is a map directional query. And we would do those at scale. Then after that's done, after you've done the 5 mile radius and the main points, or you could do this second in line. Definitely do the 5 mile radius. Any street that's in that 5 mile radius, start whacking it. Then after that, what I like to do is this. What's even more potent, right? Because not only, because then you can start getting into selective, right? I call this authority traffic. So you could start at a competitor, right? If we're running traffic and we're doing click-through, we would start and end at the competitor. We want people to be also searching for our competitor, but landing and ending a session on us, right? But what you can also do is when we're doing mass and we're trying to influence the query log, start showing association. So if we're a plumber and we have our business, let's go ahead and go back really fast here. Another one that I would do to put on my list, remember we're making a list for influencing, right? We're making our list here. What are we going to put into the bot for mass query influence? Right? Start associating keywords, brands, businesses, and locations. The next one is this. So I would have this, I'd send that in the bot. But this would be a massive list. All right? Because this would be running on your server all day, all night. These are just queries. Right? You're just feeding it information. But what's even better is this. So if I'm a plumber and I go back really fast, let's go back. What you also want to start associating is here, let's go to maps. Let's go back to maps. Because where you want direction is from your competitor to your business. Or also well-known landmarks to your business. Or another one is, where are the bus stops? The bus stops to the business, right? And within a session, people are looking for maybe eateries. If you're doing this, maybe if you're doing this with a system that is more set up, and you're paying somebody $4 an hour or whatever, and they're running this and they're creating sessions and they're creating personas. Within those personas are normal actions, searching for nearby stuff. What are bus routes? Ubers, whatever. You're creating the persona, the person that's in that particular location, right? But what we also want to do is we want to start looking at other places, business locations that are associated to my brand, business, or service, and then start doing, okay, I'm at this location. I want to get a business. I want my location. I want to see where this business is. So if you're emulating a particular location, you're standing at your competitor's address, but I want to go to your address. What kind of signal do you think that sends? And at scale. So that's all we'll get into today. But you know, if you create a directional request with a verified listing, you know, I've been testing this out in Las Vegas, but I don't have I didn't want to get I don't have a verified. I was able to get a listing, but I wasn't able to get it verified. I tried numerous ways, and I didn't want to buy it or anything, and I don't have time to send out mail and screw around. I just wanted something on the map immediately, right? So I've noticed that depending on the location, I guess, it's a little bit more difficult with the pins. It's a little bit more difficult with the pins, especially in a competitive niche. And not saying that, a 240 search volume is competitive, but when you're competing with other SEOs, right? There's a lot of signals at play. But if you're just Joe Schmo plumber in, say, Virginia, or you were doing, like Virginia SEO or something, that kind of stuff would pop right in, So I hope that helps you, man. I might have went in more detail than maybe I should have, or that you were looking for. But yeah, a little off topic, but so there you go. And Google Map Stacks. I gotta go. I have a consultation. I actually have to hop off. It's at 9 o'clock. He wants me to teach him about micro workers. What account is this? This is my account. Okay. So we're going to cover micro workers today with him. So I actually have to go. We will be back though. Always. I'll be back. This went way longer. I have no idea where Kelly is. But maybe I'll give her a call, but I have to hop off. I wish if I knew who the guy was, I would do it live and record it and show everybody how to utilize and use micro workers. I'm probably going to make him a detailed training on it. Maybe I'll just record the training I'm going to give to him, and then I'll upload it or something. I don't know. But it's been an absolute pleasure. I want to thank you if you've spent the time with me. I tried to answer each and every question. We got on topic. We were off topic. I hope that I've helped you learn SEO today. If you had any other questions, or if you need any type of help privately, message me. If you're out of the country and you need help, and maybe US, that type of pricing doesn't matter, but you really are out of the country and need my help, message me. I'll work with you. All right. I'd be happy to help with you. If you've worked with other SEOs and you're having a ton of trouble and they weren't able to do anything, definitely message me. That's what I'm really looking for. I want to get with people that have worked with others in the past, so they understand SEO, and I like that. Those are the people I really like. I like to be able to help those. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you have any last questions, I'm going to go over here and see if we can get this fired up. Let's go in here. We'll go to here. And we'll see what's going on here. And is today the 7th? It is. All right. Yaniv. Okay. All right. So I don't want to be showing that. Okay. That should wrap it up then. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you everybody who has, last time I wrote you a mail, but it doesn't work, man. Where did you send me mail? Well, for a while there, I had somebody that I was working with, and they were supposedly checking my mails. But no, I'm up on it. If you want to send me a mail, you can, the super public email is chrispalmerseo@gmail.com. All right, if you want to send me an email, send it to chrispalmerseo@gmail.com or chris@chrispalmermarketing. They both go to the same place. So either of those two are perfectly fine. I have another email, but that's just for consultation clients, and I'm not going to give that one away. That's just for consultation. But what I'm thinking about is on my Calendly, I went through somebody's little funnel that they had, but it ended on a Calendly setup. No, it was a Zoho setup, but I like how they set up their little thing. They had their consultations, they listed their services, and everything was by time. And I really, really like that, because that way I can log my day. It's just so phenomenal. If you don't use Calendly, I recommend it. I like it. It's good for me. But as far as the mails, if you sent me a mail in the past and I didn't get to you or didn't respond, I've changed the way I handle things and people that I work with, so things are flowing a little bit easier now. All right, so if you want to get in contact with me, message me, brother. All right, I'll answer. You know what I mean? I have it right here, so you can see like my box is pretty clean. I've been really up on it lately. I've been just doing it myself, so. See, as you can see, like it's clear. So yeah, that's it. I've been going through it. So if you have a question, send me a message. See, Chris at Chris Palmer Marketing, and here's Chris Palmer SEO. See, I told you they all go to the same one. I wasn't BSing. Send me a message. So I gotta go. I gotta meet with this gentleman. It's been a pleasure. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful night. Many blessings.